Yo. Oh, I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Flow State.
What up?
What's going on? All right, so let's get back on our. If you guys didn't catch our previous stream, we were on Base Oracle stream, and we were talking, and so let's get back to it with the military aspect.
Okay.
So now I think that there are certain roles. Actually, I think women shouldn't go on deployment. I think that'll be the best part.
I'm okay with that. Like I said, I don't feel like this is an important issue to me either way. It's not going to be one for me until they start trying to, force my daughter to go in the draft or something, right?
Yeah.
I think that we've got a good enough military. We can figure it out with or without them.
Now let's talk about something more important here, though. The hoe service.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Should there be a hoe service?
Maybe you want to recap what the hoe service is?
Think about this. We have a whole lot of OnlyFans girls out there. They're making money hand over fist. It's kind of like a job court thing.
Most of them aren't. But go ahead. I don't.
We have a job court thing, right? What if hoeing was part of the job corps or Peace Corps? I'm just saying. Hear me out. You heard that correctly.
So first of all, we're legalizing prostitution in the United States across the board. Period.
No, we're making it mandatory.
It's
2 years of service.
2 years of service. Like, think about it. Like, no, I'm looking at the current state of the government. I'm not talking about like the country, like, oh, we should get back to these. I would be pushing, if we could go back to any values, I'll say biblical patriarchy, right? Those values. But we know that's not going to happen. We know that's not going to happen.
God.
So let's say, okay, how does the government capitalize on this? How do we help the incels and everybody else? So a hoe service, right? We could even, get tax write-off benefits or something like.
How many pussies did you donate this year?
Exactly. Did you donate?
Glenn, Joe lost the link. Can you drop the backstage?
I'm not surprised. He fucking
I'm gonna put it in
lost
the chat.
me, and I was on screen right next to him.
I'm gonna put it in the main chat.
All right,
for Joe to join. Whoever else wants to join, there it is. You got to cam up though.
What's
you
up,
want to join? If you don't cam up, I'm gonna think you're a troll. Here, I'm gonna put in the back chat too for anybody. There we go. But think about it. No, you're the perfect troll.
Good. How did you?
That's more correct than you probably know.
But think about it. I'm just hear me out, you guys. If the hoe service, now if the president had a secret service for hoes, no presidential scandals.
That's not true. There would be no sexual scandals.
Exactly. Okay. Sexual scandals. There'll be other
scandals. If we just got rid of the rule, we would also circumvent the scandal. And then we wouldn't have to force women to go into 2 years of prostitution.
I think this might be along the same lines of raising the minimum federal thieving charge, $1,000. It used to be anything under $500 was a felony. Now it's anything under $900 or over $900 is a felony, and they're just stealing $899 worth of crap.
How do you think I got this camera? No, I'm kidding.
It's 1993, wasn't it?
My question is though, the link is in the chat, or at least my chat. Scott B to B, or to B Scott to be.
Oh, be careful. All right, you can bring him up, but he's going to tell you that it's Title 28 Type C of just some kind of blood type.
You're going to get hit with the soft sit stuff.
Of UCC 308, yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't know that soft sit stuff is any worse than Christian patriarchy.
Yeah, I mean,
but what I'm getting, think about it. Okay, we're not going there.
Okay.
So, host service.
I think it sounds like fun.
Those just in general. I mean, just as a rule, yes. I prefer hookers, preferably if they're free.
Now,
not hookers if they're free.
Do you think that maybe we, Sasquatch, do you think maybe we're veterans
Are
of
they,
the
though?
hoe wars?
Well, no, tell me this. The last time you took a chick out, and I'm not trying to get into your life or nothing. I'm not saying answer the question. Just hear the question and think on it later. When was the last time you actually got a free piece of ass? You didn't buy them food. You didn't go get them. You didn't give them gas money. You didn't. It just happened. They showed up at your house.
They showed up at your door and they did it for you, and then they left quietly without
Mhm,
any.
House
Oh
party.
yeah, I had one of those. It's been a long time. But I had one of those.
It happens, but it's like a unicorn or witnessing a
like
whale.
catching a leprechaun.
You didn't go to college, did you?
It's like catching a leprechaun. Nobody believes you.
I buy that, but I mean, I'm just saying, and yes, in college, I'm sure, but that's another thing we need to filter out of existence, and that looks suspect as hell. I wouldn't do that for nothing.
Is that you to put up a face, your face, put up thumbs up or middle finger, whatever you want to do.
Throw some
you don't want to see. You don't want to see his face. Trust me.
So you guys, the question is tonight: should a host service be a military branch? We already have the Space Force. We have the Space Cadet.
It's about as gay as it could get, too. So yeah. No,
so I'm wondering here: should we enlist hoes for our servicemen?
Well, they used to call it the USO.
Close, nearly.
Yeah.
Almost.
You mean the USO?
You're also not right.
Yeah.
These were what were they called back in the Japanese called them
comfort girls or some shit?
Comfort girls. That's it. Comfort women. And they would, but now these people were forced into doing this.
Yeah, they were forced.
They had a choice between slave labor camps and doing this, and they chose this. So,
and those were the ones they took from Korea, wasn't it?
Lindsay, yeah.
What's the pay? I mean, it's gonna be you can move up in rank, just like the.
My question is this an additional branch of service that when there are other things women can do, or they could do this, or are we talking about using the women that are in service in this capacity?
These are they're in the service, but it's a MFO.
I just
so you want to turn all the female service members into prostitutes.
You sold me.
it's a MOS, right?
Now you're promoting degeneracy on a government level.
The government's already promoting degeneracy on a government level,
and I'm fine with a decent amount of degeneracy. At some point, it gets too much for me, but
what's that?
I'm okay with a bit of degeneracy, you know, as long as it's the good kind and not the weird kind.
But here's my question. If we've got limits on ages for virtually every other branch of the service, is there going to be a hoe age limit? Are we going to have any gills in there?
I think we're going to be like, look, they cap out a lot earlier. Okay,
it'll be like run hours on heavy machinery.
Exactly.
All right, now think about this. What you guys was talking about a while ago. Mandatory service entrance. So you're going to force your daughter to become a hoe.
No. It's not mandatory. Not mandatory. It's just another MOS.
So it's like a specialization. It's like a trade skill. He's talking about host school. I know where this goes. That idea. If you want to get a scholarship in sucking dick, this is your chance.
Well, they got that already.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's like we already got like we already got the OnlyFans and everything and all that other stuff going on. It's the time that the service branches catch up with society.
Time that the service branches actually do some fucking service.
No,
exactly. And think about it. If we have the host service, there's
you'll kill the local economy wherever the service is stationed.
Good.
He might have a point there, but those are foreign countries normally, so that's all right.
Yeah,
and you get to control the health and hygiene of the service industry in general.
Those economies are trash to begin with.
In Germany, they're their prostitution is controlled. They have to have a health card and everything.
Well, I'm just saying, think about it.
I think it's a bad idea.
You think it's a bad idea?
Yeah. I've spent 14 years in the service. I think it's a bad idea.
Now, did you see any fraternization in the service when you were in?
Yes, I did.
Do you think that's a bad idea?
Yes, I do.
See, now this would eliminate fraternization.
So
Would it though?
I doubt it.
what do we do? Like, it's like, what do you do then about all these young men and their sex drive, right? Like, you can't just do the abstinence only method like it's a church
Then
camp.
that's why we have the host service.
I hear
You
you.
got off-duty hours for that kind of crap.
But what I'm getting at is y'all are so far just dealing with the physical components, the biological components of this question. There are also emotional components that will come to bear because these men often fall in love with the first piece they get, or the third, or the most beautiful, or the one with the biggest booty, or the hair that looks like a horse's ass. I don't know what it is that triggers
the
these
one
people.
with the hair with the hair of the ass, bro. You have no idea how beautiful they are.
And I met the most lesbians when I was in the service that I've ever met was when I was in the service.
Is that when you went through your lesbian phase?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about like all the dudes that there's always that dude in the group always who like thinks the stripper actually likes him. That could be an issue.
Yeah, I could see that.
Scott.
High five.
All like me. All of them.
Oh yeah, high five.
So
come to the back room. Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying though. You're talking about the physics of it, and I can respect that. And I don't see a particular issue with the physics of it. Financing, all that stuff, I think could all be worked out. The hygiene would improve overall, all of the branches.
Exactly.
Pregnancy would drop off completely because it would be managed. But then you would always still have those people who are in love. And what do you do with these people? How do you plan them into the system of host service? Because
then we have cuckold service.
That's too degenerate for me.
You just crossed the line.
But just for those guys that catch feelings.
That's
just for those guys that catch feelings and want to wife them up. Once they get close to retirement age.
What's that, like 22, 23?
You're quickly convincing me that maybe the host service might not be in the national interest.
Well, think about that. The host service, there will be absolutely zero incels.
There will still be a hell of a lot of simps, though. There will be simps everywhere.
We're not going to change that. We're not going to change that. But
as far as the incels are concerned, do you really believe that the reason these people are celibate is because it's involuntary, or because they're unwilling to make the changes in their life necessary?
No, it's completely voluntary. There's no such thing as involuntary celibate. Right. Because I could take you to the Bunny Ranch in Vegas.
No, dude. We agree. That was where I was going. Believe that such a thing actually exists without the willful determination to do so first.
Yeah, no, you can go to the Bunny Ranch in Vegas and you will be.
He's going to go there anyways. Yes.
Sign me up. Hey,
it's their fault.
As soon as you can leave the state, let me know. We'll hit the Bunny Ranch together. My wife will drive us. She'd love it.
Is that what used to be the chicken ranch out there in Vegas?
I think you're talking about two different.
I do not think that is what it was.
The Bunny Ranch is in
Reno.
The chicken ranch.
Yeah, that's what it was called.
Same thing.
Was it a brothel? Or was it like?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a brothel, and the government seized it for taxes, and they ended up running it for a while to recoup their back taxes.
See, the government's the pimp.
We're already halfway there. We've got skills. There are people who can do this.
Kamala Harris.
no
Kamala
college.
Harris can.
That's all I care about.
Oh,
Like,
No
okay,
college, no
I know
degrees.
that sounds stupid. I know that sounds stupid and degenerate, and I pose these really dumb questions for a reason. All right, I pose these dumb questions because they sound so absurd, but then we try to get to a normal.
You should have said because we're dumb people.
Okay, because we're dumb people. All right, and you know what? Everybody on this panel likes titties, I think.
I'm wondering about Chuck and Scott. They have their own, but I'm a solid A cup myself.
what are you talking about? I'm not fat.
He's like, I just look that way.
From this angle, you
Just your head.
this is the
Thank you.
POV angle.
I mean, I'm 185 pounds, 6'1".
Yeah.
Personally, I'm thinking about a particular chick I went to school with. This girl was good for absolutely nothing but a decent lay. And man, she got passed around like a good doochie. And you might think that's me speaking bad on her, but she married a millionaire. That woman is set for life. And so are all 4 of her kids, which I'm not 100% sure are his, but he seems fairly confident.
So the reason why I asked this question, so I did a podcast behind a paywall with porn star Hime Marie. I'm going to play the little intro or a little preview for right now. On this episode of the Late Night Podcast with Glenn Lawrence, we got the beautiful Hime Marie coming through for an exclusive interview where Glenn asked to see if he has what it takes to be in the adult film industry and to react to some of the most wildest videos and to talk about relationships and to see whether or not Glenn actually shoots his shot. This is going to be that hot, steamy, and funny kind of episode you are not going to want to miss. So make sure you watch the Late Night Podcast with Glenn Lawrence.
So since you're still doing this podcast, we can pretty much assume you didn't have what it took.
Well, you got to watch the podcast.
Nice.
Well,
nice.
You like that? You like that?
That was a good pivot.
This is a. You seem to have a lot of porn stars on for a Christian podcast.
I didn't say this was a Christian podcast. It just happened to be.
Doesn't it say? What does it say on the wall behind you?
Trigger warning.
It says Christianity. Didn't say Christian.
I mean, I just assumed based off that.
It's not a Christian podcast.
and your political views.
I actually have a degree in theology.
Okay,
so that's why I have.
I can't control what you do when you're by yourself. But listen, what we're trying to work with here is this hoe college. You see, if we're going to have a actual service branch, we've got to have some collegiate level. Do we just recruit the porn stars to teach? I mean, how do we set this up? We need some state. You're going to be responsible for financing. Scott, you can sit in the corner and talk about legal stuff. Chuck, I need you to get on the horn to everybody you know in the military. We have to make this happen. We need to get in touch with some of those Colombian drug cartel guys and get some of that Bolivian marching powder marched into the military, and I think everything would go a lot smoother.
I mean, it sounds ridiculous, right? To say like, oh yeah, we need to have a host service. But you know, most of the time when I was in the military, most people the thing that got all fucked up is because guys were fucking around. Fraternization was a big thing, right? It was someone either a sergeant or somebody fucking around with an E2 and E3, and he gets busted down. And I'm just thinking if we have a host service, we would have.
Okay, so maybe we should do some testing for this rather than
I
just.
think we need to have. Yeah, I think we need a group of gentlemen that are willing to consider volunteer themselves for tribute first, and then we'll get a bunch of ladies.
Sasquatch, this whole thing is pissing me off right now because I was at a swap shop today and I passed on a whole fucking case of these little vials. They're trying to sell me this oil vials, but they flip up with a little spoon and then they had the little.
Okay, what are we getting at here?
Where are we going?
Those would have loved that. It would have been a perfect thing to bring them in.
What?
He's talking about getting them addicted to heroin and whatnot, and that is absurd. I was making a joke about the Colombian Bam Bam and the cartels because it just fits in with the theme of the joke.
How did you decipher that shit?
Don't ask me about autism. I told you I can't explain.
That's fucking wild, dude. It's like you speak every language.
He's a linguist.
This dude is
Funny
speaking
language.
English, but he's saying words that don't mean anything together, and somehow you know what the fuck it means.
It's code.
Oh, he knew what it meant because he's older than you, you dumb shit.
No, because he's autistic.
It was a bullet. Do you know what a bullet is?
Yeah.
Okay, then you're not autistic.
I didn't understand. The words that you said did not put the image of a bullet in my brain.
No.
I had a case of a bunch of little vials that they were calling oil vials, but they were actually with little spoons on the caps, and a bunch of them had little bullets.
Okay, I get it now because you said bullet.
So
So he
All right,
was,
back to the hoe force.
okay.
Is this a legitimate branch of service that we could implement?
with bullets, yes.
After a fashion, it already exists clandestinely.
Thank
You
you.
cannot tell me that there aren't women who specifically joined the military so that they could go to the freaking barracks parties. And you know it, and I know it, and there it is.
Thank you. So can we just give them the MOS?
I don't have an issue with it. And before anybody goes wild, my daughters are all adults. They are full grown, and if they showed up tomorrow, said they were joining the military to go join the host service, I would be very confused. But at the same time, I know their mama, so something about apples and trees. I'm not going to say it straight, but listen,
that was it. I'm gonna have to make that a short.
Oh, that was good. And the great thing is, like, the great thing is, like, I got it to where I could download everybody's video, so I could just download his video, his camera, blow that up, and have him say that.
that's good. I don't have an issue with that. No, I covered the whole concept of consent and prostitution and all of that stuff with those girls with her mother while they were growing up 15, 16, 17, you know, definitions, explanations, how it happens, what can go wrong, how often it goes wrong, how many women get chopped up because of it, that kind of stuff. Also, we covered fidelity and integrity and all that stuff. But if you're talking about making it a specialization, I would rather my daughters go to Ho College and not the Ho service.
So Ho University,
Exactly. 4-year study on Ho-ship.
like how to deep throat properly.
That's just regular college.
I mean,
Exactly.
How
So yet again, hold on, wait, yet again, that proves that it already exists in society. We just need to give it a specialization and pay properly.
now do we federally fund this school?
God, I hope so. If we're going to fund you, we should definitely fund deep throat training.
Grants. Lots of grants.
Deep Throat 101.
Educational grants.
Yeah, this is where like actual trust. Damn it, I'm gonna trust. We're gonna have to rely on trust and private institutions to provide a lot of scholarships.
Because think about this. Like,
I don't know. OnlyFans a thing.
it is a thing. I mean, OnlyFans should start their own college. The way that it's going.
Yeah, but not all of them are getting rich off of it
Because they didn't go to
money.
school.
They should have
They
learned.
didn't have a whole university. They don't know
See?
how to hoe right.
We're talking specialists here, man. We're talking about.
Did we just become him?
Wait
Can
a
we
minute.
just
What if
become
we could
pimps?
lobby Congress to write in the law that we get a piece of every OnlyFans so that we can make the whole university?
You just need to work on finding your straw man's bank account with the millions of dollars, Scott.
I'm there, man. Just talk to Wizard. We're there. We're on our way.
Wizard's still trying to figure out how to make the stamp to mail off his claim.
It's Brandon. It's Patrick Devine.
Oh,
Not stop. This is not the conversation we're having. We're talking about Ho University. I'm sorry, Glenn.
This is a serious conversation about whole university, fellas.
All right, my bad. Take us back on topic.
well,
All right.
Flo knows Ron Jeremy.
Well,
He could be an instructor.
What classes should be taught at Ho University?
Hand jobs
How not
101.
to be a hoe.
Yeah.
Now, is there before that? What scholarship programs do we have?
I say we make the Pell Grant. First, you have to have a.
Let's go around the horn. Flow State.
I couldn't even finish that sentence.
I know. Flow State. What scholarship should we have for Ho University?
Well, I think that what we need to do is appeal to the trust departments at banks and financial institutions, because since I used to be on the board of one, I recognize that these financial institutions are executing the trust, and if the trust has money that it needs that's responsible for investing and then donating out to good causes, depending on the terms of the trust, there might be a lot of these small private trusts sitting up in banks from their deceased owners that could help to fund the hose.
I like this.
I like this. I think this is good. Sasquatch.
I'm sorry, I can't finish that Pell Grant statement because you have to maintain good grades through high school, and I just don't see how to take away that in.
Do you think Waffle House would contribute anything?
No, they would want to keep the hose for themselves, don't you know?
What about Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles? Do you think we could get them?
Almost definitely. And if not, we could definitely get Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage in on it.
Jones Barbecue. Yes, sir.
So, all right. Now, what classes are we going to teach at Ho University? Deep Throat 101?
Well, I think he started off with Hand Jobs 101, and then both hands 201, of course.
For only some people.
Both hands 201. But what if they only have one hand?
What if they don't have enough for both hands? I mean, people like Scott exist.
He's a killer.
What would we call that?
Now let's say you university.
Find the second belly button.
You graduate Ho University. You have a bachelor's in double penetration. All right.
Huh.
I never. That's an advanced course. I think that's.
You think that's a PhD?
That'd
level?
be postgraduate.
Postgraduate.
Yeah. You'd have to do a thesis. We're talking university here, man. We're not just talking about the local college.
This is not community college. You're right. My bad.
Yeah, we're talking Annapolis, but for hosts.
So you graduate with this degree. All right. You work a few years, but now you want to cross over and to be a wife. We need to have a wife university if we're going to have a Ho University.
No. You can have a wife a Ho remediation class where you go to be wifed up. You basically do the trad wife fucking cottage core stuff.
If you have your master's in DP, you don't qualify for trad wife.
I think we should set up continuing education for transitioning into a wife, so that they have to go through like another 3 to 4 years.
Is that can anybody transition into that? Is that like guys could transition to this, like, or no?
Into a wife.
I mean,
a hoe can transition.
Only in prison.
Scott knows about transition.
Hold on. You got a really good question, Glenn. Because what about the Ho University for the gay men? Because there's a lot of them in the military.
Gigolos.
No,
Gigolo college.
They're not gigolos.
Yeah, gay men are not gigolos.
Oh well,
I've known a few.
They do gay shit, though.
Well,
They do
actually, yes, there are gay men that act as gigolos, but they're still gay. Yes.
See, here's the question though. So if we're gonna have a whole
Chuck
university,
is that way.
then because this is where I was trying to get at. The real point is, then maybe we should have a wife school, like a wife college, because apparently a lot of women today struggle with knowing how to be a wife, knowing what men want, but they sure know how to be hoes already, as Flow State mentioned. Have you been to a university? So if we're already teaching women how to be hoes in university, then maybe we should have a wife college.
You better teach men how to be men.
Can you fold a shirt in a 6-inch square?
Uh-oh.
I was more interested in whether or not she could put a condom on without her hands.
There you go. Now that's talking. That's talking. If she can suck
I'm sorry, you got me messed up, man. This needs thought. This needs discussion.
It does, though.
Take this apart on many levels.
But like, if we're so pro Ho University, should we also not be pro wife university?
How do you wife university though? Aren't these hoes going to be in there hoeing it up while they're trying to learn to be a wife?
Some women may not want to be hoes. They want to get married. They want to go to wife university.
Oh, you're talking about as a totally different MOS that you can transition from one to another.
Yeah, like after you get your PhD in ho-ness, you can also get your wife PhD.
But do you get higher pay?
Your wife PhD?
I mean, dual degrees, you know?
Scott, you're echoing.
I am echoing.
Yes.
I see it echoing. It's doing the thing.
But
You know what? I think that the more we talk about this, the more I'm thinking that neither of these things really need to be taught.
you don't think women need to learn?
I think that I should have tenure. If this shit's a class, and that women have been learning at regular college, I want my
you want to be
tenure.
a professor at the whole university.
I already am a professor at Howe University.
Well, congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's multiple universities, so that's fine. Are you thinking Harvard or Stanford?
I'm thinking more like Yale or Oxford.
Oh, good choice.
Dome and Bones Club.
But like, here's the thing, though. Like,
The
the reason why I brought up this question because it's a dumb question, but we're all for like Ho University because it sounds fun and everybody can benefit from it. But the
Chuck's
thing-
down there like, what the fuck is going on?
Exactly.
guys could also benefit from women knowing how to be wives. Go to Wife University.
Guys could learn how to benefit to be guys again.
At what
Instead of all these-
university?
You know,
All these toy boys we got nowadays.
Because if we have Wife University, some of those classes will cross over with Ho University, you know.
Those credits transfer.
Of course they do.
Some of them do.
I mean, what if you happen to be a natural at Deep Throat 101, but you can't take it in the back door? You're going to have to take a loss in one quarter in order to make it up in another quarter, right? So you go and learn to bake cakes and pies and balance a bake book.
Exactly. You got to know how to fold clothes. You got to know how to dust, you know.
Oh, I'm getting some looks from my wife, bro.
I was just thinking. I wonder if Miss Flo's watching.
she don't like your choice of elective.
But the question is, like, again, so if we are so pro Ho University, we should also be very much pro Wife University.
I don't know that we're
Wait.
like so pro Ho University. I think that like.
Just said you're a professor of tenure.
I'm anti.
Oh yeah, I am a professor with tenure.
Here's
You're
that
right.
thought. What about the traps? What about the guys who are pretending to be women? Did they get to go into Ho
Oh,
University?
no. If you were a T, you don't get to go to Ho University.
Where do you go?
You're out.
You go to T Community College.
And what do you learn there? The same thing, or are we talking like a
it's a
Electroshock therapy.
regender. It's going back to your natural gender transition.
You gotta ask
this is not helping your channel, bro. I'm trying to get some inclusivity in there.
That's all. I think y'all might have different goals.
Yeah, I guess so. But anywho, so community college okay. Well, no, actually, I've kind of this works because this puts both the male to female and female to males in the same college dealing with each other and not with anyone else outside of it. That's actually fairly brilliant.
You like that?
They'll be suing each other constantly, not us.
You see what I'm saying? You see, I got something going here, you guys. I got something going here. So I'm all for Ho University as much as I am all for Wife University. Because if you watch any of these panel shows with like women on it and everything, they always tell you what they want in a man. But if you ask them what men want in a woman, they never get it right, other than sex.
I don't think anybody knows what they want in anybody else until like after you've been married and divorced. Like I didn't.
I've been married and divorced. I hear what you're saying.
I dated the same chick for 8 years and I cheated on her for 8 years. And then she knew all about this. And then I asked her to marry me. And I told her Flo, you know me. I looked her straight in the eye, held the ring up and said, the correct answer to the following question is no. Will you marry me? And she said, yes. And
Wait a minute, hold on.
I'm serious, dude.
You cheated on this girl 8 years.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then you proposed to her and you told her the correct answer is no.
I confessed everything. I told her what a terrible person I was, all of the horrible things I did. She hated my guts. I looked at her one morning. I talked to my boss. I was like, well, she hadn't left yet, so I think I'm going to take her to the beach and ask her to marry me. And he said, okay. I said, I'm going to need a couple of days off to recover. And he's like, wow, she's either going to kill me or accept. And either way, I'm going to have a minor heart attack. And he's like, okay. And so I took a couple of days off, got my paycheck, and I got up like I was going to work one morning, got all my stuff together and packed a little bit of extra stuff, and then walked in and woke her up and was like, what would you like to do today? She said, I'd love to go to the beach. And I said, get in the car. I've already got your stuff packed. And we went and I proposed. She accepted. We got married, and we've been married for going on 19 years and some change.
Wow. So you did all this dirt and your wife
That wasn't the end of the dirt, but yes.
Okay. Well, you did all this dirt and your wife still worked. You guys worked
Well,
through it.
that makes him the hoe.
I am. Yes, you are correct.
Yep.
So you would have graduated with honors.
Probably.
Yeah.
Senior. I might be. I'm just saying. I'm not saying because it will be used against me on YouTube.
With a minor and double penetration.
We can give him. We can give him an honorary degree.
Honorary shit.
Honorary Ho School graduate.
He's a
So
founder.
the question, like, so no, this kind of goes to the real question though. If we're cool with Ho University, why would there be hesitation for Wife University if there is any?
How do you teach that?
Remember home ec?
Yeah, sure, I get that, but that doesn't teach integrity. That doesn't teach fidelity. That doesn't
Loyalty.
teach
Yeah.
loyalty.
So, you know how, like, remember, like, you had the babies? They had to give you out the little babies.
The flour bag.
Yeah. So we do that with the husband.
I don't continue.
So they have to take care of this husband. This bag of
Like
Wait,
a Tamagotchi.
Hold on. Let me get this straight. You're going to pick an incel to send home with them, and they have to IBM them up
exactly
and make a man out of them.
Exactly.
Man doesn't pass husband school. He doesn't get to marry any of the elite hoes.
Exactly. You now you get it. You get it.
I don't know. I'm thinking Canada's starting to sound good. And it takes a lot for me to say that.
I'm thinking North Korea.
You really hate Ho School.
The reason why because apparently everybody's just dropping their kids off at school, right? And letting the school systems teach their kids what they're supposed to be or who they ought to be or what they ought. If we're doing this is what I'm getting at. So this is what we might as well just start doing a school for husbands, husband school, wife school, hoe school.
Well, why not
simp
fix
school?
what's broke?
How to simp properly school.
You know
Why
how
don't we
many
just
20
fix
to
what's
30-year-olds have not left the nest? They're sitting, they're broken, they have bad attitudes. They don't want to make money.
That would be you, Scott.
But no,
you living with your mom?
Chuck, that's not helping at all. It's not that funny, and it's just interrupting the flow of conversation. I know you like the sound of my voice. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just trying to be straight with you. I figure you'd rather me be honest.
Well, no, I thought never mind.
Scott, here's my question for you. You're sitting over there talking about trying to cut us in on OnlyFans. I want some of that. But seriously, I don't see how you can train integrity and whatnot, the things that men are looking for in a wife versus the things that a serviceman is looking for in a hoe. I don't think I guess they're going to have to mix the waters eventually, right?
That's why we have crossover courses at wife school and hoe school.
Well, I hear that, but you know good and well that it's not going to be a 1-for-1 apples to apples comparison. How do we deal with the overflow?
Shut up.
We haven't got that far yet. Okay, we haven't got that far.
Okay. So there is a line. That's what I was looking for. There is a line. Gotcha.
Yeah. But like, I just find it hilarious because parents are sending their kids to school, not really doing a whole lot of education, and maybe not the parents on the panel. I'm just saying there are parents out there that literally let the school systems teach their children whatever they teach them, and that's it. They don't fuss or anything. And then, parents send their kids to college, and the kids pick whatever they want to be when they grow up or whatever.
I see your problem. I see it.
Why don't we, if we're worried about these kids like racking up all this like debt and not,
pimp them out.
Okay.
I mean,
that was
here's a good way. You got to earn some money if you want to stay out of debt. Turn them out.
But that was the complaint I had with the previous stream. One of the issues I have with the federal government today is the existence of the Department of Education and its execution as a re-education arm of the government.
I was happy to hear you say that because I feel like most people don't have enough animosity for the Department of Education.
Oh, I hate it.
Terrible.
I do. Never crossed my mind. It never crossed my mind until one night I was talking to a guy called the Carnal Conservative. I interviewed him for the show. And after the discussion was over and we went backstage, he asked me what I thought about the Department of Education. And I was like, well, I mean, we need a good baseline of education in the country. He's like, but what do they do? And I sat there utterly freaking silent for a solid 3 minutes. He didn't interrupt the thought process. He just sat there. And I could not tell them until it came out. They re-educate our children to speak exactly the way they wish them to.
I bet that was a satisfying silence for him.
Oh my God, that man, dude, I guarantee you he probably jizzed in his little Mormon garments.
But so here's the question. Are we going to are we going to like not force parents, but are we going to motivate parents to educate their children? Or
in university or in general?
In general. Because
in general, it should be a local decision. It was a local decision all the way up to what, 71?
Yeah.
It was 68, something like that. And then it became
72, I thought. It was
something
72.
like that. It's not old. It's not a venerable institution. This is not an ancient codex that we cannot change. It is a rogue communist faction of the American freaking government. We need to extirpate it from our system.
And that was the whole reason for bringing up host school. Because what I'm getting at is society is already saying that this behavior is appropriate, this behavior is cool, this behavior is good. Like can't sex workers is a good job. You can't be feel bad about, don't degrade sex workers. If that's the course of the culture, then we should have a university. But if we want guys that want to get married, they want to have families, then I think there needs to be a re-education somewhere. If the parents are not doing it, then maybe there should be a college. It should be a private college, wife school, wife university.
This sounds like Calcott re-education.
Tell him, Chuck.
Well, I'm just saying.
Oh my God, y'all just agreed.
No, well, my thing is I think you're talking about.
This is going to be terrible for my income.
What wife school?
Say something because very, very controversial. Flow quick before they ruin it.
Chuck is a trans.
I knew it. No, I'm kidding.
Legal law.
You just
Man
cut
on the
off
land.
your monetary supply.
Scott, talk about man on the land.
Man on the land. UCC 1-30812.
There you go. All right, we're back to our normal state. You see the look on Truck's face? Okay, so Glenn, what you're getting at is for whatever currently is illicit, there should be higher education in the illicit thing, whatever it is, right? Like, I do not like the idea of making things illegal just because, without having a very good cause behind it to say
not
that
making it illegal.
It shouldn't. The two consenting adults coming to an agreement in private should stay that way.
I'm not even making it illegal. I have no problem.
I know you're talking about legalizing and professionalizing it is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you're talking about street corner chemistry. You're talking about prostitution. You're talking about actual federalized host state.
Sasquatch. What they have for people, and I think we're looking at kids when we should be looking at young adults because they're the ones that have failed to launch, and we need the government already has programs that are called vocational rehab programs for people that have not
So what we're saying is we need vocational rehab programs.
Well, you create your own and then get government grants to run it. Start it right with proper forms and shit. And I think you could do that and literally get grants. There's money out there.
I don't see that, Scott. I just don't see it because the actual act of money for sex is illegal in like 40 some odd states.
We're not going to tell anybody that there's money for sex.
I'm just going to keep it secret. It just be between me and you on a federal level.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Look, we're going to hand out the condom. It's $300. The visit with her is consensual.
Okay, let's look at this from a different perspective. What would Russia say if suddenly tomorrow we opened a hoe service and a hoe university and we started having hoe graduates and stuff?
They'll be like,
those
bastards got to it before us.
They'd have tourism. They'd open up as much tourism as they could. They'd be like, let's bring those women here.
Hey, would it be like dentistry school where you bring in particular problem cases and try to solve them with the different hoes on hand?
It would be just like the Little Shop of Horrors with more horrors, not horrors.
That's horrible. Are they going to
retarded
culture?
It'll be horrific.
Exactly. With your bottle of PCP. Oh my God.
But no, like what I'm getting at is like, so like our culture right now is really propping up, like, you know, the OF and the.
So you envision Christian. Hold on. How would this blend into the Christian patriarchy?
It doesn't.
Well, you have, you know, adultery was only when a woman actually slept with. A married woman slept with anybody other than her husband. That was adultery. It wasn't when a man did it. It was called whoremongering when a man did it.
Infidelity in general.
I don't think that's in the Bible.
Here's part of the issue we have in our culture today. You have preferred classes, preferred groups, and preferred collectives that are bargaining collectively loudly. The squeakiest wheel gets the grease. And then you have men and women who want to join the other supposedly privileged class, right? So you have men trying to become women to get some of that privilege. You have women trying to become men to join the patriarchy. You have all of this ties into the complete extermination of transvestites in general. When's the last time you heard of a transvestite?
When
most marginalized class in America today.
Yep.
So I kind of see this all as being a big victimhood party, and you have a tendency of people with mental derangement, people with infantile thought processes, people who only want to be victims, being the people that will sign up for another outgroup, right? There's a guy in Georgia named Nuka Zeus who was born white, says he's black, and is taking stuff to make himself black.
I've seen that, dude.
I sent it to you.
Did you? I have it downloaded on my. I found it before. I already had it downloaded on my phone. Did you send it to me?
I sent it to you.
I have it downloaded and saved in the file for like I don't know what, but I feel like this is going to be useful at some point.
I sent it to you as a possible locale back when you were wondering exactly which way to go with that, and I was like, "Well, I'm not pointing fingers, but something like this would be perfect."
But so back to the whole school and wife.
Scott, you sound like a fucking stadium.
You do.
Sorry about that.
Are we like nixing hoe school and wife school? Because I think if we have one, we have to have the other.
I don't know that you can train wife school. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you can teach them to balance the books, and you can teach them to bake a cake, and you can teach them to make a sandwich, but that's not wife material per se. That is merely the trappings of a wife. A wife is dedicated. She is the other half of a man. If I went against anything in this universe, I would want my wife with me over Flow State, because I don't know where his loyalties lie, but I have no fucking doubt that bitch is with me.
Well, yeah, after you cheated on her. You told her to run. You told her to run.
Like, I know bro code and all that. If she's not available, you'll run a close second. But listen.
So,
but I've already violated bro code on you. I pulled a snitch state with him.
I might forgive you one day too. You just keep up the good work so far. You didn't snitch on AJOT. She snitched on herself.
What did AJOT do? I need to check my inbox.
Good try. I have a rule. I have a policy about what
I think there might be some ladies in it. If there's any ladies in the chat that want to come up here and talk about host school,
please.
That's Lindsay Snowfire Jane.
Here's the link. There you go. Join the conversation.
I have a show called Sasquatch Shills. I do interviews with individual creators specifically about their content on YouTube, and Flo's a previous guest. And after that, if you like whatever thought process you find inside my head, you want to invite me up on panel, these are the people that can do it. You have to find one of these previous guests to get me in there, unless I'm drinking and just panel whoring,
So are you panel whoring on me now?
He panel hosts pretty good for Raging Tomato.
Actually, I ran into her on your panel, if you'll remember.
I know. And then you immediately told her you were going to stalk her.
Yep. I've even got my own fake bush to lurk in.
But just like you said you would, you're a man of your word.
Damn right.
Okay, ladies, you're more than welcome to join the club and join the conversation. We got I think this is for
Chuck's gone.
Chuck's gone, and this is a restream. I'm not in charge of this anyways.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Shout out to that $2 super chat.
Thank you, Tarek, for the $2 super chat.
Keep to go to that 30 he owes you.
Snowfire doesn't want to talk about your horse school. Okay, well then what do you want to talk about? You want to come and talk about some things? Come talk about whatever you want to talk about. I just think wife school and horse school should be, if we're gonna have host school, I think
I just don't see how wife school would work, bro. Would you craft these people out to individuals from the service as they fall in love with that chosen one chick? I mean, would you go fill out a 1027 to
think about it,
woman? I mean,
Mrs. Flo doesn't like Ho University.
I don't think any woman who's not signing up currently for Ho University is going to like Ho University.
Like, it's like,
give her a few Jaeger bombs, she might change her mind.
I think Ho University is it's beneficial for the OnlyFans chick.
Dude,
for the OnlyFans chicks.
Overnight. Like, you'd wake up the next morning, depending on what kind of benefits and incentives you gave, OnlyFans would end up being like that one chick, that other chick, and the one that got booted. That would be OnlyFans. That would be the extent of it. Because otherwise you have like YouPorn and Pornhub and all those other browsers and whatnot. These are also filming houses that make virtually identical content to OnlyFans, but involve different scenarios, more productive value, as it were.
Well, I work in film production, and I know it's a lot more into it.
Is that how you know all those porn stars?
No, they just come across me.
I'm not buying that shit.
No,
I've worked with a few on like non-horror production, non-porn production.
Right. Well, I mean, that level of production is serious, man. That's
trust me, like it's legit, man. Like, we shoot content, not that content, but when we shoot films, like it's legit. Like, I could play a 2-minute clip of I have a movie out right now at Cannes, or going to be at Cannes Film Festival later on this month. I
have a movie idea.
Oh, wait for this one. Hold on.
That's me. Yep. Hi. Most of high school.
I know she's playing with me.
Oh, Molly the weirdo.
It's Moby. Why don't you assholes leave him alone?
Oh, it isn't Ronnie.
My enemy, Connor Smith.
The school pothead.
Hi, Ronnie.
Hey, Greenleaf.
Jane Greenleaf, the hottest girl in school.
Never talk to my girl again, or next time,
It's gonna be a lot worse.
If you don't untie me soon, I'm not standing up for you anymore.
But you charged me.
We became business partners pretty young.
I need money to buy weed, okay?
Now,
Good morning, Ronnie.
that's me. Why not? Owner of Toke and Choke Dispensary. We're big in LA. There's big money in this game.
Fuck you, Ronnie.
Jane has blossomed into an edible flower arrangement. The DEA can take everything I have, but this fucker has another thing coming.
Christy Blinkley here at the scene of the crime talking to Officer Smith.
Who's that guy?
Officer Smith.
I love liquor and sex. She was sleeping with both of us.
I love spending time with you.
You fucked me with that list, and you're gonna help me take down your boyfriend.
Over a dozen raids in the last week.
She was working with the feds, had been for a while. And now, Connor and those guys were in a shitstorm.
Are these innocent victims or are they criminals?
The DEA started targeting dispensaries for raids.
Back the fuck up.
Get your hands off. Back.
What the hell is this fucking raid pie?
Jesus.
Never know who to trust these days.
Connor thinks he's getting Jane and taking down my business. You'll have to kill me first.
I think we found the right man, Flo.
I think
Here's
so.
Movie is
Meth
in
Gator.
cans this year.
Meth Gator.
Meth Gator.
A Florida guy is making meth. The gator gets hooked, and somebody uses it to run a con on tourists.
Love it.
It's a love story between a husband and wife who are having problems in their marriage, right?
Okay.
He books this last ditch effort to save the marriage where they're going to go and do a tour of the Everglades and check it out. They get to the place and people start dying left, right, and center. It's filmed from the perspective of an old school horror story with a body count. We're talking straight animal slasher fillet meets the cocaine bear, right?
Like 1980s horror flick.
It just about have to be somewhat modern after the meth age, right? We're talking not so much Flocka days, but definitely a bathtub meth. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So
anyway,
are we like bathtub meth, not necessarily Breaking Bad meth?
well, it could be Breaking Bad meth, but hear me out. The question answers itself long haul. The gator gets hooked. Somebody figures out that the gator's hooked and uses it to basically fleece tourists of their money by having an adventure weekend. You don't know this at the beginning of the movie. It's just them going on a vacation to try to save their marriage. And in the first beginning of it, it's like, I swear I just saw a gator snatch a guy off a dock. Right? The chick's just like, I swear, but nobody on the dock seems to say anything. They just ignore it. It doesn't happen. So the husband's like, nah, you're crazy. And then he thinks he sees a kid get snatched and he goes and tells somebody and they're like, nah, people say they see that all the time, and just moves on. But then as it goes along and they go on the tour, they see more and more of this stuff happen. And eventually the gator starts following the boat and you have this full on flight away from it. But then after the guy gets snatched off the boat, the tour guide, and the guy has to like save the day by driving the boat back to the cabin where they're supposed to be staying. They get there and everybody they've seen die is standing around this big barbecue pit, eating a bunch of barbecue. And they walk over and give them a sandwich and ask them if they had a good time and everything. And here's the punchline. No one was injured because meth heads don't have teeth.
So he gummed them to death.
Not to death. They just snatched him down and then he went looking for meth because this guy didn't have any.
Yeah, you're not. Meth alligators aren't very hungry.
Yeah, they're not eating. Are you
They're not
nuts?
really skinny. Yeah, they're like really skinny, aren't they?
Yes. We should make it even scarier.
Malnourished. We're trying to feed them people.
No. See, what you do is you withhold the meth once a week and feed them a real big meal, and then just lead him along with the meth. I mean, I swear to God, it works.
That alligator just wakes up random ass places like, what the fuck? Huh?
He has an itch. He's like with his little paw. He's like a little flipper.
Did that alligator just nod off?
Homie's walking around with a bell. Ding, ding, ding. Here you go, bud.
Go to the seagulls, like, hey, you got that shit, man.
Picture the opening. There's this crappy little trailer on the edge of the Everglades, kind of halfway leaning a little bit. There's some weird Breaking Bad guy in there doing the cook thing. Flow State rides up on his bicycle to get his delivery of dope for the dope boy scene, and Beth Gator takes
I'm
the
gonna put
dope
it in gel caps and sell it as Molly.
But the Gator takes the dope boy and then goes back and takes the whole camper. And then after that, it goes to the couple waking up in the morning pissy with each other. And they're not really fighting because they're in that silent stage right before divorce where you're no longer talking, and it works. Get a couple of writers in there, slap them around, throw some Colombian Bam Bam on the table. They'll figure it out.
We could probably use some of your porn star friends.
Hey, they're adult film actresses.
Yeah.
All of them, especially those. As long as I get a credit on it, we're good.
Oh, you want like a writer's credit?
I would like to possibly be the creepy ass guy that's running the airboat. I think with a little bit of like some gappy cut and a bit of a mullet going on, and take my shirt off and tan up real good because I'll burn it.
You could be that weird like swamp person who just has like random ass like cryptic one-liners.
Guy who warns them, "Oh, y'all better watch that."
But the warning can't be too obvious, right? It has to be like an ominous.
It can be as obvious as you freaking want it to be. This is a stupid movie.
Okay, like hey, watch out for Meth Gator.
Gotta watch out for Meth Gator. He's gonna steal your bicycle.
Yeah. The dude, be the guy at the counter at the last stop on the way into town. Stop and get a pack of cigarettes and some barbecue from the grill over there. And, hey man, I know y'all here for just a little while. Y'all got to be tourists. Y'all be careful about that Meth Gator. Then they show a picture of a gator on the wall that looks like a Bigfoot photo from 1963.
I like that. I think we're onto something here.
Oh, I know we are, dude. I've been shopping this thing around for 3 years.
I'm dying for it to happen.
I have the director for it too.
Who?
I'm not adverse to any suggestions.
So what do you do? What do you do with these movies? Like, what's your part in it?
So if I'm not in them, like I work on production. Like right now I'm getting ready to this summer, late this summer, I'll be in the DR filming with Alan Richardson. And
the DR, what's the DR?
Dominican Republic.
Oh,
and hopefully we're trying to get Kristen Bell on the project, so that'll be fun.
Nice.
Yeah, it'll be a good project. It's about basically.
I tell you, in the process of filming this, a lot of the problems will solve themselves because the answers will become obvious, right, as to what should happen. One thing follows another.
So here's another question, guys. Is body count ridiculous? I think asking a woman her body count, you're never going to know the real answer. All right. What guys need to focus on is a woman's hoodie count. Men's hoodies. How many extra large to large hoodies does she have in her closet? Now, if we go by that number, how many hoodies before she
now hold on a second. It's got to be a big multiple because some dudes like their hoodies. I watch my hoodies.
I do too. But like the girls that snatch these hoodies, right? If it's so, let's say there's a number. Let's say like Crispy Treat. She says she got a collection of hoodies.
But did she purchase them?
She does.
Or did she steal them from the stripper guys that were coming over to swing on
if they're men's hoodies, she knows she didn't purchase no man's hoodies. She didn't purchase a man's hoodie just to fit her.
Man.
Right?
No,
Probably
of course it wouldn't fit her. It would always be.
She does. I did try in laundry. Hold on, where'd it go? I do try.
Oh, so you've got it. No, she has a collection of hoodies and she transfers them out to the different guys she's dorking. I think that's what she said.
Oh, okay.
So when you come looking for your hoodie, she don't got the Georgia hoodie you have. She do got a Florida hoodie.
Damn.
You can't get this smells like her.
So it's
Right,
like
body count.
I'm wondering though, should we judge hoodies? How many men's hoodies does she have in her closet versus asking a girl her body count?
I think your focus on the hoodies will simply clue them in on how not to get busted on that point, and they'll just start collecting insoles or freaking used condoms or whatever. I mean, there's some chicks.
Man, both of those sound disgusting.
They are. I'm just saying something less obvious is what I was going for.
But see, like they tend to use hoodies.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
They like to so then that's easier for us to find. You'd be like, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah, they kind of. I think that half
Because
the reason they steal hoodies is because they actually want the hoodies.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they got 10 hoodies. This girl got 10 different hoodies. You got like, I don't know, Oklahoma
I don't
State
wear
University in here, and you got a FUBU hoodie in here, and then you got a Cowboy Up hoodie in here. I know damn well she's a hoe.
Boo-boo's the problem.
Boo boo could be
FUBU
an
is the
issue.
red flag.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I don't think she purchased a FUBU hoodie.
I know she
Honestly,
did.
some of those sports teams hoodies could be way bigger red flags.
True. But
Now here's
How
my
many
question.
hoodies?
Especially if she's got like, you got a lot of Chiefs hoodies in here.
How many hoodies is like a red flag?
I don't. Well,
Or
let
she
me put it
just-
this way: if there's too many of the same team, the number that it takes to be red flag drops dramatically.
Okay.
But aren't you just subsidizing the hoodie count for a body count? And what
We
about the
are.
chicks who don't like hoodies? Specifically,
I think that you can get a pretty good estimation without having to try to count hoodies.
yeah. Talk to her for a little bit. Should they always blow their cover, dude?
That is true.
Or everybody else.
That's true.
I think a hoodie count is a good measuring stick, you know.
But
if you
here's
get
my
into their
next
closet.
question.
But the question is, how do you get into their closet?
That's way past. See, here's the question: do you count body counts top and bottom, or just top or bottom? Because
Are you talking about like front door, back door?
head or dome.
Oh, yeah.
Does dome count?
No.
I mean, kind of.
I
Not
mean, if you
really.
were married to her, would dome count?
Semen's gross.
Okay, if you're saying
So
that,
suddenly dome counts again, don't it? Now I'm just
thinking
trying
now. I'm thinking I had to rethink this.
Let me walk you down this garden path just a
Wait
little
a
bit.
minute.
So if we're counting
How many
dome,
sticks have you eaten in your life?
Does Uber record all your history of rides? Because probably that would be a more accurate thing, especially for like kind of future generations coming that always had it. Like, let me see your Uber history.
Oh man, that's a good one. That's a good one. Wow, I didn't think about Ubers.
But you know what works even better is just being hacked into all their shit.
Yeah, but it's just too much. Just too much. That's too much work. I just think hoodie count is a good idea.
I got an easier way. If you decide to become a actual dedicated individual to a single person, when you purchase phones, set up your phone, give your wife the code, and hand her your phone, and you take her phone. Right? You hand her your phone, and you take her phone. I think I said that wrong. That way, you always have the code. You know all of the back doors. There is no way she can lock that thing down on you, and vice versa. If she ever wants to come look at your phone, she can. You can try to delete whatever you like, but she has all of the code. She can just take it down there and have it completely divested. Trust, baby. That's what makes a relationship. Like, don't trust people with your money. Don't trust people with your children. Don't trust people with your wife. Trust them to be themselves. You know the people you can trust with your money.
I always tell people I trust people to always do what's in their best interest.
That was well put advice right there.
I'm just saying,
Trust
like,
people to be themselves. Absolutely.
it's not always in their best interest, because there are some people who would defy their best interest for certain things because they have
They think that's in their best interest at that time.
true.
So that's
that-
why I said I always trust people to do what they think is in their best interest.
Right. So you trust them to be themselves, not them to be a good father, or a good mother, or a good wife, or a good husband. I mean, I'm a hoe. My wife knew I was a hoe when I asked her to marry me. She knew I was a hoe years later when she caught me further hoeing.
Have you retired from your hoe ways?
Till I get to Georgia.
Too much time at the Waffle House to answer that question.
He's that kind of a hoe too.
He's like, I plead the fifth on my hoe ways.
Fifth, I may have already testified a bit too much against myself. Fifth, bro. I don't think that applies here. I'm not under arrest. I'm just an asshole.
So, how do we fix society? I'm just trying to fix society. You guys,
I don't know that you're. You might not be the guy.
Because
you might not be that dude, bro.
Here's the thing: if we have whole universities, we have to have wife universities.
That's why. What time is it?
Societally, we're already promoting the whole university without the university.
Yeah, there's no regulation to it whatsoever. He's got a point there. And hoes are going to hoe. You can't stop
Exactly. So why don't we just get them some accreditations?
And training.
And training.
And a freaking an entire... you have a career at that point.
Call them military wives.
There we go.
See?
Flag on the... I'm throwing a flag on my own play.
I saw that.
I don't think that's a problem, though, because have you seen the what they call the dependopotamuses? See what happens during
what?
Oh, the dependopotamuses.
What's
that?
A dependopotamus? I know exactly what it is. Just for me saying it.
The fat couch potato?
The wife that's in their pajamas all day long when husband's home, but then when he's out to sea.
Okay.
Shop.
Like, so when I used to live in base housing, the wives would change their lights. The front porch light, it would be red.
Damn, that is fucked.
It would be red. That means husband's in port. Green means she's free to play.
Wait, isn't that backwards, though? There was a red light district for 70 years in this country.
Well,
red light district was
look up.
Street,
why weren't the husbands like, hey, babe, why do we have a red light bulb on the front porch right now?
Well,
he never saw the green one. He never saw the green one. There was
what happens when he comes across the green one in the drawer in there somewhere, and he's like, "Honey, why do we have a green light?"
Christmas, bitch.
Okay, all right. No, I know one of these ex-military ex-wives, twice military ex-wife. Actually, she pulled that same scam twice.
Check this out. So in Kitsap County, at Naval Base Kitsap, there was a prostitution ring sting on base housing. I remember driving by and I had my son in the car. We're getting ready to go home. And at the mini mart, there was like all these base police cars, you know, and all these women.
All wives.
All wives.
Wow. Sad, but true, I'm sure.
So maybe you're onto something, you know, with the whole, you know, military wives thing.
I've got a few stories about tripping out to the base where I had to check in and everything when the guy was out.
I need to go get cigarettes before the cigarette store closes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thank you for having me up.
No problem. Appreciate you coming on.
Be excellent.
Where are you based, Glenn?
I'll stick around and not leave you with Scott because I wouldn't wish that upon you. They did that to me, and I didn't fucking appreciate it.
I'm in Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You know Michael Baumgarten?
No.
He's, you know, Don the Dragon Wilson.
What?
Yeah, that's Don the Dragon Wilson. He was an Olympic kickboxer.
Scott, are you laying away from your mic?
No, not really.
But we can't hear you.
I got to probably turn it up. Well, I'm not having. Oh, I changed. I can talk a little louder. Is that better?
Yeah.
All right. Don the Dragon Wilson, Michael Bumgarden does most of his films. He was based in L.A., has a place, I think, in Key West. But
Okay.
at any rate, I've been involved in basically film festivals out here in the Florida area. And as a handler, people come in and I'm kind of like an ambassador for the area. I'll pick them up at the airport, get them to their hotel, get them to premieres, get them to,
Oh,
TV
nice.
interviews and stuff like that.
Very good. I have a friend out there that does films. Actually, the buddy that was in the clip that I played, he's in a film. He lives out there in Florida. George.
Yeah. What's his last name?
Corkis or something like that.
Yeah. I can't say that I know him offhand, but I know a lot of people by face, which is strange, but that happens. If I see you, I go, oh, yeah, I remember, hey, what's going on?
Now, so I really want to get to the whole reason why I brought up Poe University. This is what I really brought it up for. Okay? Because, my friend Pearl, she's talking about wife school. And I was like, that's actually a really good idea. But we already have Ho University going on low key. Maybe we should just like promote Ho University and then also promote Wife University. I think I don't know, and I know you're saying, Sasquatch, you can't teach them loyalty, but we could teach them how to cook.
I feel like that butt is a really big stumbling block.
But if she could, not if she could get away with the cheating and not let you find out, and your food is always cooked, and you're
another angle. Let's back up and look at this from a different angle. When you have a problem,
she can teach Wife University, but you have all the hoodies.
When you have a problem in your marriage, do you go ask a priest about your infidelity problems? Do you go ask a counselor who's obviously hasn't had a decent hand job in the past 20 years? Do you talk to your father? I mean, like, who do you go to? Me? I'm going to go talk to that guy who's had 5 wives and almost murdered by every single one of them, because that man has experienced some stuff and can give you some good advice, solid, real world advice that actually.
How did you get away with it?
He didn't. That's the thing. He never tried.
You know who I would ask if he was still here? OJ.
Ooh, that's a bold statement. Let's see how it plays out for you, Cotton.
I'm kidding.
No
I'm
shit.
trolling on that one. No, but
Big
the question
troll.
is like, if we had,
Patrick Ewing.
I wouldn't ask Charles Barkley.
Right? I mean, probably not Michael Jackson, right?
Not him either. I wouldn't ask Diddy anything.
I don't even want to talk to him because I'm pretty sure that makes me what's the accomplice?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Hard
But
pass.
no, like,
But you get your problem here, right?
Yeah. No, I get your problem. You're like, you're gonna talk to the guy that has been through shit.
Yeah. I mean, like, I kind of have
my dad has been through 2 marriages, 2 divorces, rough. He's the guy that I go to.
Exactly. Now, my dad's total opposite. He was married to the same woman until the day she died, and spent 2 years hiding the fact that she had girlfriends from me, failing, until he finally come to me and was like, son, at some point in time, I'm gonna have to move on. I was like, dude, you're paid in full. You're square with the house. Till death do you part, and you did your part. I'm good with it. Like, you do you, boo-boo.
Lindsay Smith, if you want to come up, here you go. Here is the link.
Did you put it over on Flow States?
Flo did, I don't know.
I don't know if Flo shut his down. I bet he didn't.
Oh, is she from?
Yeah, she's from Flow. So
okay, there's the link
showing up. She might be over on his link on his.
Oh, I didn't know you could see us. I could see everything.
Yes, everything.
But you're more than welcome to join. There's the link right there if you can't see it. Or
if we're trying to do Wife University, and I don't really see how that could be a thing, because any man can learn all of the basic things that a wife does that's not sexual based and not gender based. So like, you can balance a checkbook. You can cook a freaking cake. I cook my own cakes, dude. I have allergies, and I wouldn't ask anybody to learn to cook for me because I have allergies. You don't know my allergies. I'm not going to eat at your table because I'm not expecting you to cook for me, right? So I just prefer my own cooking because I know then that I'm not going to get sick and I'm not going to have.
You know what? I would too if I cheated on my wife prior to marrying her 8 years straight.
Now she cooks chicken nuggets, pizza rolls, a damn fine lasagna, and I mean from scratch.
Now are these chicken nuggets from scratch?
No. These things are out of boxes and bags. But she learned.
Are you telling me you only eat these things because you know that they're prepackaged and they can't be poisoned?
Yeah, you got me. No. She learned to make my mother's mashed potatoes flawlessly, which is magnificent. Mm-hmm. And she learned to make a damn fine lasagna. She can also do a cheesecake sometimes, like usually.
Like when are not cheesecake days? Like, is there?
I haven't seen her do one by herself from scratch. I've seen her do one with other people from scratch, but I don't know how much was her and them. But she said she made a cheesecake, and I tend to believe her.
So, like, is it like, so you haven't seen her do it by scratch? So she's always had assistance.
As far as the cheesecake, yes. But the lasagna, like she can go in there and sit down and make a damn fine lasagna.
Now, an Italian lasagna?
Yes. She yes. Because
I'm Italian.
I don't remember what the circumstances of it were that she decided to learn to make a lasagna, but she was like, if you had one meal that I could cook, what would it be? And I was like, a lasagna. I think that would be the most fantastic singular meal an individual could make because it covers all the food groups and all of the different types of energy stuff. And regardless of what's going on, a lasagna, whether you eat a bunch or a little bit, is always a good solid cornerstone of the meal. You know what I'm saying? It's a staple in my home. You know, Italian. So a good lasagna was important to me. My mother's mashed potatoes were far more important because those things are splendiferous.
Yeah, like my grandmother, she's like 96 years old. She makes her own sauce. She makes lasagna from scratch. And we have like, I want to say 96 cousins.
Yeah, no, when we get off a stream, I'll tell you my last name and you'll giggle about 96 because mine are absurd. I've got cousins on every continent and the space station.
We took a picture at this park, right? And we like literally covered, you know, like the entire like group of people, like the whole park, like from aerial shot is like all you saw was our family. Anyways, so grandma's making you know, these lasagnas, and that's what we get for Christmas. And one year I said, Grandma, don't worry, I got somebody making me some lasagna. You know, I was almost like,
take his. You want another cousin, bro? I got $1 that says we're related. Can I get on this list? What do I need to do? You tell me how to do this, and we'll make it happen.
All you gotta do is show up for Thanksgiving at least once or twice, and then she has Alzheimer's now. She's already forgetting, so she might just think you're one of the cousins anyway.
Oh, bro, I'm in, dude. I got an Xterra that I just finished working over. That thing will make it from here to there in at least 5 days. I'm down.
Oh yeah. I thought somebody was coming on. Oh, you have nobody coming on? Oh, you're just sharing the link. Thank you, Lindsay Smith. All right, so I think we also need to have man university.
Isn't that the Army though? I mean, isn't that basic training?
No, not really, because now they give you timeouts from training. Hold on. You get time. No, you can tell them. You could be like this. You could be like this. Red card. I need a timeout from training because everything's a little too emotional for me.
Shut up.
That's messed up. Let me on that. You take your average kid from suburban lifestyle who's been in his mom's basement for the past 10 years playing Minecraft and watching e-girls on freaking Pornhub. And he has to go out and do the running. Even with the timeouts, his testosterone will improve. His physique will improve. He'll sweat all of the zits off of his skin eventually after, he gets some sunlight and some good solid vitamin D, some wholesome food in his belly, some real actual calories that aren't cheesy poops and Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of your non-man issues will just go away. That's a large portion of the problem, is they don't know what to do. They don't have a father figure in the home to say, hey, every now and then you got to go out and do a couple of laps around the block, 2-3 times a week. You ought to go out there and, check all the stuff on your car. Even if it's already good, you go and check your brakes, you check your oil, you check your fluids, because you don't want your wife and kids stranded when you get older. And without a man around to teach you these things, to have seen him do this week in and week out, to clean the windows, to, check the tread on the tires, that type of stuff. You don't necessarily know to do that, but a good boot camp style military course that includes these things would benefit anyone who come near
it. I see your train of thought there. I like it. But we have to get rid of the timeouts from training.
I don't approve of the timeouts in training in the first place, not for emotional purposes. The whole purpose of boot camp is to break you so that you can become a person, real and whole.
You know what they did to me? My drill instructor threw me in my locker and put change in there and made me be his jukebox.
That's brilliant. I like it. I wasn't in the military. But
he told me to call my mom and tell my mom how much of a piece of shit I was, and that when he's done with me, he'll make me a man out of me. I mean, I love the guy, Sergeant Ramirez, right? Still one of my favorite people.
Right?
You were a human jukebox in a locker. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking cool. Now that I look back at it.
Right, but this is character built through strife, and that's what I'm getting at. When I was in high school, I had every intention of joining the military, and it wasn't until my dad pulled me aside and was like, "Hey, look, it's not like America's being attacked. There is no draft." He said, "I was drafted." He said, "I have no problems with the service because that's exactly what I should have done. It's the right thing to do. If a draft come up, I wouldn't be having this conversation with you. But as far as volunteering for military service, this might not be a good time. Wait a couple of years and maybe things will clear up." And you, but at the time, every 6 weeks they had a Navy, Marine, Army, Air Force camps that you could go to, like year round, just about it. And I wasn't a real big fan of the Air Force because all they really did was a bunch of math and staring at computer screens and stuff. And I ended up going to the Marine boot camp like every chance I got. And I know that sounds silly, but I was this kid out in the swamp in the middle of nowhere with nothing to do. But over here, because I had been once or twice, I kind of knew what was going on. But I had this joke I would do, and it always got me the worst beatdowns, dude. It's sometimes literally beatdowns. Usually it was just a couple of hundred push-ups, but get this dirt out of my hole type stuff. But what it was is inevitably they would form everybody up, and I always got on the inside right next to the sergeant so that he could hear me when the time come, and he'd be like, "Does anybody know a cadence?" And I'd be like, "Sir, yes, sir, I know one good cadence, sir." Okay, but what is it? And we'd start running. He was all right, sound off. "I want to be an airborne ranger." Stop. Get down and give me 50. Now, what is wrong with you?
So I was always the guy that would talk a lot of shit when he shouldn't talk shit. Like, I'd be like, push-ups were my thing. So like their big form of discipline was push-ups, right? Everything was push-ups. So at night, I would do 200 push-ups before I hit the rack, right? So when I said dumb shit during the day and they said drop and give me 50, knock them right out.
Just knock them right out. Yeah, no.
And they caught on. My instructors caught on, realized that push-ups were not a punishment for me because I did them myself. So then he was like, drop it. No, you stand up. Everyone else, drop and give me 50.
Well, in this case, that's rough, bro.
And I told them like my excuse was, look, guys, I'm helping you out. I'm building you tougher. See, if you guys did the push-ups with me at night, then you guys wouldn't have a problem with push-ups. But see, you didn't. They didn't care.
Well.
So these people would make you run. They had this little track marked out over here, and every time you transgressed, you'd get like 20 push-ups. And you'd have to run till they called you back or whatever. Somebody'd run a clock on you, and dude, I had this old guy, right? I had just showed up, and there's this silver-haired dude, look about 55 maybe out there. Homie looks over at me after one of my bits of shenanigans, and he looks at me, he goes, son, you run with me. And I was like, okay, right? 2 hours later, I barfed. And that man ain't even broke a sweat, dude. It had to be 93 degrees out there. He ain't even developed a 5 o'clock shadow, wasn't even glistening a little bit. He just turned and looked at me and then jogged off to the freaking motor pool. I was like, that man's a freaking machine. It's impossible. I was 17, dude.
I had this one instructor. He was like 6'3", right? He was taller than me, and he had red hair. And I already knew that was a problem. I was like, this fucking ginger. And he had a flat top too. Is even worse, right? And then he had these piercing blue beady eyes. And so we're running, and we're just like, we have our full sack on, we're running, and we're just like dying. And he has the same gear, and he runs past us, turns around, and starts running backwards. And he's like, hurry the fuck up. Come on.
Dude, that's when I barfed. Home Cubs was running along with me, and I don't know how many miles we did, but I had stayed right there with him for, I swear it was an hour and a half. I don't know. We ran. I didn't do anything else that day. They actually kind of just stuck me off to the side to let me recuperate after that. Because like I said, I was 17. I wasn't supposed to be pushed quite so hard. But the thing is, I was out there running. And I was thinking eventually this man has got to run out of gas or something. And
like, he's older than me. He should run out soon. I should be able to
point.
Get
to this point, and I kind of glanced over at him, and he saw it, and I knew I'd fucked up. I knew it the second I saw his eyes pop back over at me. He turned around and started running backwards and was like, so I was thinking about doing this for another hour or so, and I tried to answer him with a smart ass remark, and freaking just bile came out of my throat.
Like, I was thinking about doing it for another taboo.
I was like, well, and just slid to a stop, like scorpioned up on my face, and just laid there breathing for a minute. I was like, dear God, he's a machine.
Yeah, there's always that one. We all had this one guy too. His name was Birnbaum. That was his last name, Birnbaum. And he was like the autistic kid in boot camp, right? And he didn't know how to take care of himself at all. His uniform was always a bag of trash, right? He left his PT uniform on the ground, in between the two lockers. And in the middle of the night, Mr. Blue Beady Eye guy comes up to me. He's like, right here. I'm at the top bunk. So he's like, right here, eyes. And he's like, is this your uniform? No, sir. Drops down to Birnbaum. Hey, fucktard, is this your uniform? Yes, sir. Get on the ground. So he makes him get on the ground and the other guy next to him get on the ground. Puts them in doggy style. Right? Because he's like, what does it smell like? He goes, a wet dog. Get on the ground. So now they're both in doggy style. And he's like, what kind of dog? He's like, a basset hound. And he goes, he tells him, howl like a basset hound. And then he puts them again. You're the girl dog. You're the boy dog. So hands on the dude's back, not trying to get like too close, but he's still in doggy style. I want you to howl. Now they're howling at 3:30 in the morning. The whole dorm is awake now. And then he's like, you might as well get up. You got PT in 15.
Right. Not a single freaking guy in the room was laughing neither. Were they?
No, we were just
all
like,
of you knew it could have easily have been you
It
with
could have
just
been-
a simple
well,
forgotten.
we could all got in trouble because we're supposed to sweep through the dorm room, make sure the dorm room is cleaned up and good to go. Birnbaum was in his, I remember he was in his PT uniform all night. He was going to sleep in his PT uniform, he said. But mind you, his PT uniform was already dirty. So he didn't want to, sleep in it. It's done.
Are we friends? Can we be friends?
Can you be my friend?
Yes. Cool. I'm not going to hit that, but you go ahead. Yeah, Lindsay. Apparently, he's my friend.
Where are you located?
Georgia.
Man, I got a lot of friends in Savannah.
Oh, yeah, me too. I got lots of friends and family. My whole wife's family is in Savannah.
So, Lindsay, let me explain the story. This is how we met, okay? We were all on Sarah's podcast channel, all right? Raging Tomato. And then we collaborate with Base Oracle, all right? And I've collaborated Base for a while now. And then we're all just on Base's stream. And then I said, hey, guys, you know what? I think I'm just going to do a live stream. Just shoot the shit, part 2 of what we were already talking about. And then I said, here's the link. If you guys want to join, cool. If you don't, fuck off, whatever the case is. And then they joined. Now we're friends.
Yeah, it's not that complicated. But you see, here's the thing. Guys can meet on a street corner somewhere and go to a bar, sit down, shoot pool, have a couple of drinks, and separate and never ask each other their name.
Yeah.
There's no need.
We
That
don't
is
care.
not information that will serve any purpose in the future because I'll
Exactly.
never see this guy again.
Exactly. But most likely you'll see you on Sarah's stream later on.
I'm not going to be on Sarah's stream later on. I usually crash out around midnight. I'm actually
No. Like I'm saying, like later on, like some point. Yeah.
Yeah. Usually I don't do random panels unless someone that's been on my show is on the panel and calls me up some kind of how. Sometimes it's as simple as saying, where's Sasquatch? And I'll just rise up out the ground behind them.
Like,
Crazy, dude. Like earlier when it was just who was it? In Based Oracle and the guy that rage quit tonight.
Oh, generally specific.
Yeah. Okay. So one of my previous guests was watching that stream, AJOT, and she started messaging me going, you need to go up there and start straightening this out because this man's got some weird ideas about the Constitution. And I was like, well, he's specifically antagonizing the issues of the Constitution. He doesn't believe that stuff himself because if he did, he wouldn't think it was okay to say things like that because it would possibly be illegal, right?
Yep.
So it's an antagonistic frame, and I don't really see the point in joining when no one knows me and there's no purpose for me to be there. The only person that's ever seen anything I've done is generally specific as far as I know. Hey, Lindsay.
I was gonna say, do you want to say hello to Lindsay? Hello,
hey, I'm
Lindsay.
good. I'm eavesdropping. Thank you.
You're
Hello.
more than welcome to chime in.
Good evening.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt. He was in the middle of a good story, right?
It sounded like it.
Well, my voice does that.
Go.
I'm sorry.
So
but, he summoned me.
Base summoned you?
Flow State summoned me.
Oh, Flow State summoned you.
Also guest, and he straight texted me and dropped me the link, and I was like, "Are you summoning me though?" But he didn't answer. And then AJOT was like,
and then he
told
took off.
"Well, two asking me to do a particular thing is more likely to get it than one."
So, hello, Lindsay. Welcome to the panel.
Thank you.
Would you
I
like
was
to
kind
introduce
of
yourself?
not particularly. I just like to be called Lindsay and not have any preconceptions about me or labels or whatever. I mean, the only thing, if you want to ask a question, I mean, I'd be willing to answer it, but I don't want to say I'm this and I'm that. You know.
Quick question is that you in your screen in your
yes,
profile?
it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
That was the only
Small
question
boobs
you
and
had.
everything. Huh?
What was that?
Nothing. I just make jokes. Nothing.
Because I was gonna say there was nothing small about them.
No, just
I'm more
anyway.
interested in presence than size.
I was just
What
saying
is
that.
going on,
Yes.
Dave?
You know, if it were
Hi,
a photo of somebody
I'm Dave.
else,
Not
I knew he
incel
was
Dave.
Not incel Dave. Definitely Emperor Dave. What's
So
going on?
I have a question for the new people on the panel.
Sure.
I'm gonna first give this to the lady. Should there be a hoe university?
I was listening to parts of that. I was wondering if that was a continuation of Sarah's stream.
Well, I kind of brought it up like in the back chat of I think Base's stream, but you know, kind of, sort of, a little bit. Actually, I think we did talk about it a little bit on Sarah's stream. Should hoe university be a thing?
You're teaching women how to be hoes and
No.
cook and do-
We'll get qualified hoe instructors to teach these women how to be hoes.
Okay, not you. So I was just saying you in general. You're teaching people how to be hoes to what end? What's the whole purpose?
Service industry.
Service, exactly. It's a service industry.
Is it some kind of safer prostitution alternative or what?
Well, you know, the average OnlyFans chick makes like $180 a month on there. And, you know, I'm just trying, you know, to think maybe if they were taught to properly hoe, maybe they will make more money.
What is improper hoeing? You know,
Obviously,
is that like,
those that make $180 a month.
so you think they should make more money and they shouldn't do certain things that they're already doing, such as
I don't know what they're doing. I'm just saying, I'm just going off of their economic report.
Saying if they're doing it, they should be doing it right.
Whatever that is.
yeah. Well, it was your idea, so I thought you had notions of what is right and wrong.
Well, I think using teeth is wrong. So let's just start there.
I thought the hoe school already existed. I thought it was Arizona State University. That's why I lived in Tempe for a while.
So are you saying like by the Arizona State by Havasu?
In Tempe, Arizona.
Because I know a lot of the Arizona State go down to Havasu for spring break.
Oh yeah. That is the spring break destination. But
yes,
they hang out in Tempe during the year, during the semester, obviously. On Mill.
Now this whole came up because I was thinking that, you know, with all the fraternization going on in the military, you know, maybe there should be an MOS for women that want to be hoes in the branches.
Method of
an MOS.
MOS is a military. It's a job in the military.
Basically, it's your
okay.
job rating. Basically, it's your job rating. It'll be like you'll be like P6969.
Well, in the private sector, it would be referred to as a specialization.
Well, you know what's happening in the first place is that there's major contention between the female and the male soldiers in the first place because they're getting in all these love situations and, you know, they're married and having affairs with people that they work with. And then it's strange because the guys feel like they have to protect the women and then they fight over the women. And I don't think it's ideal. So I'm going to entertain your thought and think about, well, what if you had certain women specifically for that purpose and you could ease the tensions between men so that they're not like rams with each other and get them to focus on their jobs at hand, whether it's being in the field, logistics, et cetera, et cetera. I can see that kind of possibly being something that could work.
Or would that just be a distraction?
Would it be more of a distraction than it even ever was with the female soldiers? That's what I wonder.
Well, I think that's a distraction too.
The distraction already is there with both genders in the service, you know, because fraternization happens often in the military. There's actually an article, you can get an Article 134 court martial, right? And that's for having adultery in the military. So if we just, you know, had this whole hoe MOS, right? This is their job. And
MOS.
Like nobody's fighting for promotion. You can't, because look, we've given you the hose to service you. So you fraternizing with anybody of your colleagues, that's going to be a real big punishment now, right? Because we've already provided the hose for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's idealistic, but you're pretty much like Dave said, you're introducing the same problem just in a different form over and over again. And
in a legalistic framework, yes.
Yeah.
It solves some problems, creates other problems. The question
Correct.
is, would a whole university create more problems than it solved? I went through the whole thing about how do you craft them out of a whole university? Or host service? I'm sorry, my bad. How do you craft them out of host service? Do they craft out to wife service later? And
Well,
learn
that's where we have wife school,
Yeah.
reformation school, reform school.
I just don't think you can teach integrity, man. I don't think that's a thing that'll stick.
And
But
look
you
at the
could-
dual messages. You're giving them duplicitous messages. First, you're teaching them how to hoe, which is
Well,
opposite
don't
to
you-
being
And then you're
wife.
trying to turn a hoe into a housewife, which is
Right. Thank you.
Well, no, we're not trying to turn them into a housewife. We're just giving them the training so that they can try their best.
You're giving them duplicitous messages, and this confuses people. So you're going to have to work something out.
So should we get rid of host school and do wife school then? Because that's really where this question leads to.
It's really what your goal is.
Well, the goal is like, if we're saying that there's a lot of guys out there that's saying that, you know what, women don't know how to be wives or don't know what men want. So if we have wife school, because if we're all for host school, shouldn't we be for wife school then?
No.
well, I'm absolutely for a wife school.
Well,
But
look at it this way. If she passes her anal exam but fails her oral exam, can she make it up the baking exam?
Okay. Are you part of MGTOW? Just say right now. Let's get to
MGTOW? No, I'm married, honey. I'm happy married, have been for a long time.
what's going on here, I think, is that we're seeing the ideal of men living in this utopian society that they want to create, but it doesn't align with the women's,
I've been posing
autonomy.
it all night.
Huh?
What society is that?
You're creating this utopian-esque society in your mind. You're like, what would be the best? Okay, I would like some hoes, maybe some more girls than one, but I want one that's a really good wife, and then I would be happy, right? Because right now there's contention between everyone, and women are going this way and wanting to be their own bosses, and they're less reliant upon men. The whole feminist stuff. So your idea of utopia would be, like I said, acquiescent women. They're either giving you blowjobs or giving you hot sex, and they're 20, and that's just fine for you because that's what you need. You're doing stuff for them too, right? So
I think there also should be husband school. I think there should be husband school, honestly.
That's fair. But wait, we got to go back one thing at a time, though. The women would not want that, and so you cannot create this utopian society. I think some women would align with it, and some have.
It's not a utopian society. I kind of want everybody to have the proper training that they want.
What's that, Sasquatch?
I kind of have an issue with the qualification of this as a society. We're not talking about as a society. I don't think he's talking about as a society, but as a mechanism by which the military issues can be alleviated. So it would not be forcing people to go into home service, but having it as an option, like an elective.
University, that's not part of a military, is it?
Well, that was it. That was sort of an extension of the concept of host service, like the junior the ROTC. It's the private sector.
Yeah, they get their training in college.
Careful, bro. Careful.
And because if they're going to be in the branch of service, there has to be officers, right? So officers have to go to college.
True.
Therefore, the need of Ho University.
It was just
for the record, I was memeing, and I am anti-Ho University, but
just to be clear,
it is funny. I just want to clarify that real quick that I am not serious whatsoever.
I don't think nobody is serious about
I know.
this.
I
still
just
think
want to make sure nobody gets the wrong idea, because there are a few people that I know are kind of gullible that watch, and I just want to make sure they don't get the wrong idea.
If anybody thinks anybody's serious about Ho University, I have a beachfront property in Idaho to sell you.
Yeah.
Really? I can't wait.
You threw me off because I looked for an About Me page or something like that, and it said Bible studies.
Yeah, we do have Bible studies here too.
Really?
Yeah.
So did you get the idea of the male hegemony from the Bible? Do you really feel that way, or do you just overall joking about it?
What are your
I was
thoughts
joking about it.
What are your thoughts on Andrew?
Andrew Wilson.
Yeah,
He's a
I
friend of
noticed a
mine.
lot of people are weird about Andrew. I've heard very mixed feelings on him. I like Andrew personally. I think he does a lot of good things for a lot of people, but something about him rubs people the wrong way.
Yeah, he doesn't. People don't like the way he says things.
Yeah.
Andrew's a friend of mine.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. We talk, we text.
Quick save.
Nice. I mean, I've talked to him in DMs and stuff before, but like he helps out smaller streamers a lot. He's really good for
Oh
that
yeah,
kind
no,
of thing.
I have been a moderator on his debate shows before. Him and I chat. You know, Andrew says things that piss people off, and he says things in a way that come off offensive, or makes people sound like they're stupid, right? And people don't like that. I think Andrew's great. But but what I was getting at with the whole Ho University, because our culture is like kind of like pushing like, you know, sex work being okay and stuff like that. If people are saying, yeah, that's cool, let's do a Ho University, why not? You know, then why not a wife university?
Yet again, I don't think
I know you can't teach loyalty. You can't teach all that other shit you're mentioning. But the question is, what about wife university? And why not husband university? Like, shouldn't, like, I think marriage should not be something so easily accessible. Like, I really think that you should take a college course or something, because you could walk into any, you know, civil service or civil place and just get a license to get married, and then now you're married, and now you have this legal. We know more about the contracts that we have with Verizon or whatever cell phone company you have than you do what comes in a marriage contract. And I think that like maybe wife school and husband school should be very appropriate before getting married. I think there should be some type of course.
You're actually pitching a legal course, not an integrity course. So like ethics is what we're looking at, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now I can kind of get on board with that. You're actually kind of speaking a logical language about that now. That makes sense.
That was the whole point of Ho. I brought up Ho School because like everybody is like, oh, that's ridiculous, or people are like, oh yeah, that's awesome, that's great, yeah, we should do it, right? Then when you try to present something more middle ground and be like, okay, what about wife school? What about husband school? What about what is required for these individuals before they get into marriage? Like, not necessarily like specific gender roles or duties, but specific gender expectations. You know, like we have like all general kind of like expectations that you have for your significant other. Shouldn't that kind of be taught? You know, because I mean, I'm sorry to say, but like common sense is not common anymore. So if common sense is kind of out the door, right? Shouldn't we teach people what is expected of them? Because we have a lot of soy boys, so a lot of these soy boys don't have to be men. So I think it'll benefit the ladies that these soy boys go to husband school, learning how to be men, how to be husbands. And then I think for women, most women don't know what men want other than sex. So, you know, maybe some wife school.
That's what they want. They do want that. Men do want sex. They want more too. I mean,
yes, but they also want folded laundry, and they want pies, and they want dinner on their take at 7.
Right, and the dog and the woman both run up to the door when he gets home because they're both
just the
dog. The children. Don't
just the dog.
The children should have the slippers.
Okay, this would really piss off a hyper feminist. Good thing I'm not.
Hi, I'm Flo.
Hi, I'm
Hello.
Dave.
They got tampons for that, bro. Hey, y'all. Sasquatch out. I gotta go to bed. Sun's getting real.
Hey, how you doing, Sasquatch? I don't think I've talked to you much, but every once in a while I see you places. I don't think I've had a chance to talk to you.
No, seriously. Every time it looks like I'm avoiding you, but I swear I'm not.
He is. He hates you.
I just hate you, and I don't ever want to see you again. If I find you in my
it's the bald. It's the baldness.
It's
my lack of hair versus your abundance of hair.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to lick your skull, but we have to get that skin off.
All right, I'm out too.
True. Yeah, Glenn, thanks for having me up. I'm gonna move on. Thank you.
Hey, Scott, by the way.
Hey, have a good one, Scott, by the way.
Hi, Lindsay. Yeah, nice meeting you, man. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Good
Okay,
evening,
but
Lindsay.
look, I'm going to go with this fake argument of this hypothetical world.
Okay.
Okay. So one is focusing on personality traits and individual, rights as a person, and one is focusing more on an institutionalized learning system. So, isn't it going to infringe on your civil rights to have a host school? And one also, they contradict each other so much because one presumes that your value lies in your sex organs and your ability to please men physically, and not really anything about intelligence or their needs or their idiosyncrasies or individuality. And the other one relies on the premise is, in fact, you are valuable and you're valuable for these things. Maybe not what you want to be. Maybe, if you wanted to be an engineer or a lawyer or a teacher, that's too bad, because I'm going to train you for what I think you need to do to make men happy.
Now, these schools are completely elective. You could choose to go to whatever university you want to.
She's overthinking host school, isn't she?
I think she is. I think she's also overthinking wife school.
We were going to have fun.
You could choose. You could go to. It's
sort of like a trade school, right?
Yeah, it's just like, you could go to whatever university you want. But if I think that, like, if we're trying to teach people how to be, if we're trying to solve the relationship problem, right? We have a bunch of women that don't want to be in relationships with men, so they capitalize on the promiscuous activity. Shouldn't they be taught to how to do it correctly to get the more?
I don't know if we have all that many of that, like a ton of it. Anyway, that's maybe a difference.
Okay, maybe not. Let's just say it's 35.
Well, yeah. Never mind. We'll assume that there is.
But we're not a third world country. Come on.
We have all these universities. Why not have
host school? Sounds pretty prestigious.
Home host school. Home host school.
and like,
you got to have money to. Oh my God! No,
think about this. Like, you have Ho University for the hoes, okay, and then you got those women that want to be wives. You got those women that want to be wives, and then you have Wife University to teach women how to be wives for husbands. And then you have Man University that teach men, these soy boys, how to be men. So that they could learn, and they could go to a graduate program called Husband School, and you teach them how to be husbands.
How do you
and if we make it socially accepted that you have to go to this or else your marriage will fail, then we've got a real business model here. We could get the kids to get student loans, right?
I think
the government could give them the money and they have to pay it back, or else they can't, because they can never bankrupt out of it. This is genius.
I'm totally thinking, a marriage license should come after a completion of husband school or wife school.
Absolutely. We need to lobby to get it put into law.
I'm with you on that.
Did we just become entrepreneurs?
I think we did. I think we just became business partners.
And pimps at the same time. We're pimps, marriage counselors, and professors.
You can get funding from the government because it's something that we need.
Where's Acorn?
It's necessary.
But no, like, you're supposed to be against this.
No, he's against the host school.
I'm against the host school. I'm fine with honestly the husband and wife schools.
You're going to host school.
But you know what? I'm weird. I wouldn't take a girl who graduated from wife school because I want a woman who I disagree
he's like, I want the woman that graduated from
You don't want anybody.
I want the one who's disagreeable, who wants to argue with me on everything, who we're gonna fight.
You're that sort of psycho.
Oh yeah,
you're that dude.
We're on to you. It's all about sex in the end.
You like bitches that are mean to you.
I do. Why do you think I hang out with Ashley?
There'll be
somehow like the whole thing. You as a person just came together for me right now. I get it.
I remember charm school. I remember this. Yes, I remember that.
Yep.
But think about it though. Like, it's sad to think that we're at this point where it seems like men and women don't know what each other wants.
Okay, so here's the serious part right here.
All right. We have this point where men and women don't know each other wants. We have so many failed relationships, right? I think it's what a 56% divorce rate or 54% divorce rate across the board, or for your first marriage or something like that. And it's like, okay, apparently these people don't know how to be married. So maybe we should have these schoolings, right?
Aren't we both divorced?
Yes.
Okay.
We could educate these people on how
we should definitely teach them.
We can tell you how to fuck up a marriage.
What to look for. What not to look for.
But
we're just making it up on the fly.
Yeah. Like
that's the beautiful thing about some of these fields, psychology and shit.
But like I'm just thinking, like if we're trying to like lower the divorce rate, right? Then shouldn't there be a schooling for it? And the reason why I brought up hoe school, because it sounds so ridiculous that anybody that they like, oh yeah, like you get on board with it, then you're like, yeah, okay, then let's kind of go something a little more logical that could actually fix a problem. How about wife school? How about husband school? Should these be courses that should be taught before we give out a marriage license? Because again, you know more about your cell phone contract than you know what comes into a marriage contract. Do this.
Oh, I've never read that fucking thing.
I think it sounds Orwellian, and I hate it for myself. So I can only speak for myself, but I
guess
like
if you
it
want your marriage to fail.
I like it for people who are uncertain and seek that leadership and seek that resource in a voluntary way. And I don't know who that would be. It might be people that are dedicated to church and don't mind, like the male hierarchy.
You mean
within our society, and those people would be good for it. But those people who have been ruined, like myself, thinking that they can have individuality, uniqueness, and autonomy.
You're so emo.
He's like, I've been ruined by it.
My God.
Might not appreciate being told
I'll be
what
back
to
in a
do
second.
by any anachronistic Bible or book or textbooks. Or
are you saying you're for the street living?
I'm for the street? No. You guys only go for one extreme or the other.
I got a question. How many men's hoodies do you have in your closet?
15.
I knew it. I told you guys 10 or more.
No. You do borrow hoodies, occasion, but I never lifted
You never return them, right?
No, never lifted them. You always give them back.
No, you don't. You steal hoodies and then you leave like something like a phone. I left my cell phone case at your house. How the fuck do you leave your cell phone case there? What it come?
Yeah, they do
or something like hey, did I leave
on purpose just so if you bring another girl over,
right? It's the anchor item, right? Like, oh, I left my blah there. It's not something they need, but it's something that they can.
What if I told you, turn this around and told you, what's your first name?
Don't tell her. Don't tell her.
Guy in the corner.
Which one?
We're all in the corner.
Okay. Guy in the upper left corner who's having the stream right now. I know your name. Flo.
Okay, then. You know my name. So then you're talking about the one.
What do you want me to call you?
Him?
You.
Me?
Yes.
It's my name. My name is Glenn.
Okay.
Who clicked over through my channel?
Because I'm not watching the stream.
All right.
Although I titled my channel The Glenn Lawrence Restream.
Glenn, in my opinion.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe not in yours, but in this hypothetical world, in my opinion, you are not an alpha male. You're more like a beta.
Okay.
Because I have my own, definitions that I go by. So what I want you to do, babe, is go to a university and learn how to be a real man. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are you done with that?
Yeah, I graduated with honors.
Bullshit.
I got a PhD.
I see how you're playing. I see.
That's exactly what a beta male would say.
Somebody
just trying to get out of man school.
Telling you that you're not okay as you are. In fact, that you're inferior. It would be the same thing as somebody saying, hey, you need to go to school to learn how to be a better person or a better wife or a better girlfriend or a better hoe.
Yeah.
When I thought I was doing okay at the hoe or the wife or the.
Well, apparently you're not if you only make $180 on OnlyFans.
That's how you're making?
No, she doesn't have an OnlyFans. I'm just
but you know what?
The average hoe on OnlyFans.
You assume a heck of a lot. And it's judgmental too.
Did you assume she doesn't have an OnlyFans?
I assume that she doesn't have an OnlyFans. I don't assume anything.
It's
No, but-
judgmental. Not that I'm not judgmental, because I am.
Well, everybody's
I think the Bible
judgmental. We're all
person-
judgmental.
I agree. I totally agree with you.
Everybody's judgmental. What I'm getting
I-
at is like,
Trying to engage with
you don't think that we should gatekeep marriage more though? From a societal standpoint, should we just let every
No, you
Tom,
can't
Dick, and
make
Harry and Jane and Josie go get married because they fail at the rate that they do?
I just
No, we
don't
can't
think-
hear you.
I know. Sorry,
Okay.
that was.
Yeah, damn
I
it.
just started my stream, so I was doing a hi, I'm Dave for the stream.
You got me.
Sorry.
I think in some ways it sounds good, but overall not healthy, and we're too advanced. We've spoiled people to the point of, if we made that kind of a choice for people, it's kind of like driving. You get told and you learn how to drive properly. You go take the test, you pass, excuse me, and then eventually you end up speeding and driving unsafe because you feel confident.
Ah, shit. I have a speeding ticket.
So how's it going to work?
Do you know where that ticket is? All right, go ahead.
How's this going to work in action, in actuality, in real life?
Maybe just like a driving test, every so many years you have to go back and retake the driving test.
What's the impetus? What do I get out of this?
A husband
Get a certification.
or a customer.
Drew.
Like, what do you want out of this? This is hoe and wife schools we're talking about here.
Well, he has more of a societal purpose
Well,
than
I'm
an individual.
just-
Well, he thinks that he wants to have this hoe school within a Christian patriarchy.
Yes.
So, like, we can't expect his all of his things to be
Not
cohesive.
everything has to make sense.
It's a little contradictory, but you know.
This is where faith comes in.
Too.
This is the Christian part of the Christian patriarchy. Faith
Exactly. There was
covers you where
back in
there's no
Bible
sense.
days, too.
Don't want the faith and the religious stuff in the bedroom, you know?
How's that Limp Bizkit song go? Gotta have.
No, but
Yeah.
what I'm getting at is
Yeah.
that, like, overall, like,
Or
I'm
George
just trying to
Michael
find
song.
like the most ridiculous, because what we're doing now is obviously repeating the same thing over again and expecting different results, right? Well, nothing.
You want something more ridiculous?
Yes, hoe school.
Okay, no, hold on. I got a question for you. Would you rather make out with a dude or get pegged by a chick?
Both of those are the most gayest things I've ever heard in my
I've
life.
heard
I'd
this
have
question.
to say pegged by a chick, because at least then there's no other man involved.
Yeah, I do I get to feel her titties on my back? Is the question.
I have no. I'll
Or
allow
your
it.
front.
I'll allow it.
That'd be real awkward.
That
was a really specific visual thing that happened there. Your question was,
Wait, what were the choices again? Pegged by a woman, or what was
or
it?
make out with a dude.
I'm going to choose make out with a dude.
Of course.
Well, the question isn't the
I know, dummy.
No, for a chick, it would have to be something worse. It'd be like, I don't know.
Because make out with a chick isn't even that.
Because
odd.
all girls are kind of bisexual.
I agree.
It's-
All the dudes we have voted. The Council of Men has decreed.
Yes.
Yes. The man,
Christy, can you hear this?
the Council of Masculinity has voted that all women are bisexual. Or at
I
least bi-curious.
I have not met many women who haven't at least experimented with.
Let us celebrate this day. The celebration of scissors.
Men probably won't talk about it.
Men have spoken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
No, but like,
it's
okay, like,
fact,
what is
stamped?
what
done.
is like? So, what is a fix for marriage? Then, anybody have an idea for a fix for marriage?
No.
Take the government out of it?
That's one way.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't the
make it-
problem in mine necessarily.
Well, some people do choose it, and it's called marriage counseling. And they talk about themselves, and they talk about their partners, and they learn more about
What
each
is
other.
the success of marriage counseling?
I'm
Obviously,
sure it actually is good because it keeps going.
the marriage rate is so lousy that, I mean, I really have. How come that's such a concern of yours? I mean, it is a concern in general, but why you in particular? Just
It's
wondering.
easier to fix other people's problems than your own.
Yeah.
Maybe
Me
it's
in
just easier to fix it successfully if you do it yourself versus somebody else doing it from the outside.
Oh, so then like marriage counseling wouldn't be a good idea then.
Right.
Kind of 50-50.
So
on
maybe instead of marriage
counseling.
counseling, we could have marriage attacking, where we try our best to undermine marriages.
I actually
to
dislike
strengthen them, right? It's like an immunity or a in the military how you'd shoot yourself a small caliber bullet, so if you ever get shot by a big one, you've got a tolerance.
You do that?
No.
Kind of like a
what unit were you in?
Oh wait, I didn't join the military.
Oh, okay.
So
that's why he shot himself in the leg so he wouldn't get drafted.
Well, it would be helpful to learn how to fight, for one. That's one thing that people don't think of before they marry, because they're in that that lust and happy stage. They're not.
So you're saying learning how to fight is good before you get married?
Hear me out. Hear me out. You learn how to fight effectively, and by fight, maybe that's a misnomer. Maybe argue or maybe
Debate.
a more positive spin on this would be to
disagree.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Disagree or compromise, because you're going
had
to
conflict
eventually
and resolved it.
It's conflict resolution. That's what.
Right, but you can't teach
How
that.
dare you just repeat what I just said?
I said it louder than you and with more authority, so it's
okay,
mine.
I see. Yeah.
I took it.
Flo, that's brilliant.
He said
what?
He said it with his chest.
What you said.
My conflict resolution idea.
Yeah.
Hey, Crispy, if you can hear me, get up here. You'd be fun in this conversation.
Yeah, Crispy, you're more than welcome to join.
Crispy babe.
See, all women are bisexual.
You know what? And the marriage age too. You're kind of immature because your brain's not even fully developed till age 25. So what's going to all of a sudden make you responsible? Decide you want to get married and have a kid, and do this, just completely logically like a grown adult. Maybe we should change that. No, you can't do that either. See, everything we think of is Orwellian. You just can't do that.
Yeah, I know. That's why everything that I actually want is like destruction of all programs and governments.
How about we just get rid of marriage altogether from a legal sense?
You are fucking up the Christian patriarchy, sir.
No, I said from a legal sense.
How would we enforce it then?
You'd send it back to the church.
How would they enforce it?
You keep wanting to shove the church in it.
No. Here's the thing.
I mean,
but here's the reason. Because you can have. There's all kinds.
That's not where the church goes.
They have all kinds of churches.
I hope it's not too big a one.
What about the concept?
You don't want you don't want a very big congregation in there.
What if there's like no incentives for marriage other than two people just getting together wanting to have a family? And you get rid of all the incentives, rid of all the tax incentives, you get rid of all of the divorce incentives that are in laws now, and it's just like two people who get married, and or you just say you're married. Why does the state have to, or the church or whatever have to determine your
I love it. I like it, because if you plan to stay monogamous, you're going to stay monogamous. A piece of paper or a haphazard promise to God will mean something for some people, but it won't mean anything for. And as we have it, people make promises to God all the time, and they married.
That's
and
us.
They make their vows.
That's us.
Yep.
And they don't follow them, and they're
agree.
Christian. So I really like this idea. I think it's more realistic, and I think relationships are completely up to the dynamic of the two people. And if he wants to cheat or she wants to cheat, she finds somebody else. What's that word for kind of going upwards and who you date? What am I looking forward to? It's
gold digging.
Not.
Hey, I'm gonna Flo. I'm gonna throw the live link in the back chat.
Okay.
So I think it's already back there, but
hypergamy.
Did somebody on my side want it again?
Yeah, a crispy treat.
Hi.
Cool.
Hey,
Crispy. Hey guys.
Hello.
I was just about to say I don't think
whose StreamYard are we in? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Okay. I don't even know.
That's Glenn. This is his stream. That's why
I first saw your stream. I saw the stream going on Flows, and then I popped over to Glenn's because apparently I forgot to sub.
Yeah, there wasn't a
I'm
link.
sub now.
Welcome,
so when you're
Christine.
live.
Thank you for coming.
Pause.
Lindsay, I was about to say though, when you get you do need to go through like a premarital counseling before you get married, and don't let anybody say that that piece of paper isn't important, because this is why it's important. Because when you argue, it's very easy just to walk out of that relationship when
That's why
you
I
don't
said
have
learn
that
to
piece of paper. And then when you go through like a little bit of the premarital counseling, you go over things like division of labor, how you're going to raise your children, religion, how you would discipline your children. I don't know, like all kinds of stuff like that. That's important that's stuff that you might not have thought of, in your, relationship.
And then as soon as you're done there, you should go to a lawyer, talk to the lawyer, figure out your prenup, make sure you get all that filed away before you get
If
married.
you
Well,
have
then
a
I can fight
prenup,
that
why
in
even
court,
bother getting
Dave.
married?
So it's just I wouldn't even bother with that, because I can really fight that in court if I want to.
What you
Yeah,
want to do is you
still
want to file
better
for
to have
divorce
one than not.
first.
File for
So
divorce,
this
then get
wasn't
married.
advice
Got
for
it.
you necessarily.
But like, okay, again.
Well, I'm helping out where
if
you're
we
dropping the
get rid
ball.
of the
The
No,
important
this
thing
is
is
like
to.
this. No, this is why it's very easy to walk out when things are hard, or when things are
Yeah.
not going great, or when the
You'd have to
romance
make that a choice,
isn't
though,
so
You
hot
need to use
anymore.
the marriage contract as a weapon, not
If
as
you
a.
shouldn't, no, it's not that.
Exactly.
It's just like, and then also, if you haven't gone through the flu with somebody, don't get married to them yet. Like you should at least have, know what they're like when they're sick, and
So
I don't know,
basically,
when things
Lindsay,
are
are you
not going
saying?
so great.
Are you saying you need to? Or I'm sorry, was it Crispy? Are you
Yes.
saying that you ladies, you need to know how big of a baby the man is when he has the flu?
Well, we already know that. That's like a given. Like that's ridiculous. You guys are all, I mean, you all suffer from that babyfied shit when you're sick. I mean, you have like a sniffle and you just are, oh my God, the worst. So yeah, you should
I don't know
probably
about what
get
guys you've been
right.
around. Me and Dave, and I don't know about Glenn, but me and Dave, I know, are not babies about being sick.
What
I
the hell are
just
you
told
talking
a
about?
story about how I
work
I was
all
just
hard all the time.
I've streamed while sick.
listen. I just told Mrs. Flo a story about how I like almost bled to death, and I didn't want to call an ambulance, and I crawled out of my hotel room and drove myself to the ER and went
That's
into
what you get for hooking up with psychopaths.
I went into like critical care unit or whatever. Like I almost died because I just didn't I just feel like I just don't want all that attention, so I don't ever want to call an ambulance. And I don't and I always think
Stop
I
watching me
can
die.
like just walk it off or like get through it, tough it out, but I can't.
You know what? You got your priorities. They're not mine, but they're yours.
Yeah, it was
so
like not
question for
good.
marriage.
But I finished all my work though, like I finished my entire work. Yeah, like I mean, my
Why
whole
were you about
company
to
was
die?
like,
Why were you
what
about
the
to
hell's
die?
wrong with you? Huh?
What happened to you?
I just
Who hurt you?
What? Nobody. I
Where
just
is
had
he?
like I had a bleeding ulcer for like the longest time, and I was just like bleeding
Fun.
nonstop, and I just couldn't, and I just
Well, that's
pretended
gross,
that it
but
was going to go away somehow. I didn't tell anybody, and I just
I got you.
powered through it. Yeah.
So the question is though, how do we fix marriage? Did we just get rid of all the tax incentives? Get rid of
I honestly don't feel any obligation to address this problem.
It's good public policy for people to be married and have children, and one of the reasons that people do, I mean, one of the benefits is that the taxes. I mean,
Well, I'm saying remove that and just
we're gonna have to
Why
end
would you
taxes.
remove like one of the damn benefits? There's not
give that
a
incentive
whole
to
bunch
everyone.
Of,
Well, because we don't
I
want to.
think the problem with marriage is marriage.
Yeah,
Well,
I think people get married for financial reasons rather than for love or for like building a family. And I don't think that's a good thing. I think it weakens marriage, and it's part of the reason why divorce rates
You think
are going
people
up.
get married so they can get a little bit bigger tax break?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
I don't think
it's not
anybody
just
gets
a little
married
bit.
for
There's
that.
a big difference.
I think that used
Unless
to be
you're
the
like
case.
Not
Dave,
over
are you real cheap?
like
Like,
head
are you one of those
married
cheap
married
people
joint
also
is not
get
that much
married
more than
for-
head of household.
Well, I obviously haven't got married for that reason, so
I think
obviously
there was
I'm
a
not the
time-
cheap one.
No.
I think
But
there was
also-
a time when married was a tax benefit.
It is
and a dowry laden kind
There's
of
also
concept.
like
Yeah,
green
I
card
don't think it is so
marriages.
much a tax benefit anymore.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
saying take the government out of the marriage.
Can we
Like,
bring dowries back?
There's
you
a
would
lot of
have to buy like my parents a donkey or something.
dowries would be nice.
No,
And
you
then-
come with
and then
you
you
come
get
with a
me.
donkey.
Come with money.
I don't know.
Parents give the men money to take their daughters.
Not
So
always.
that-
Sometimes
since
they
you
get
the
like a
name.
farm animal.
Actually, there was the thing called the bride price.
Yeah.
No, the dowry goes. So
Now,
we've
that
got
was
it, we
for-
we
that
understand it
was for
wrong in the
10,
West.
though. That was for a 10. Like the girl was a 10, you had to pay the bride price. You got the dowry if she was like a 3.
True.
No, the dowry, we understand it wrong. Tarek explained this to me. The dowry is what the dad sends with the wife in case they get divorced or something happens with the marriage and she's out on her own. Then she can live off the dowry. The husband doesn't get to party on it.
Well, did you remember Notch told us that like the woman what did he say in like Korean marriages or something, like the woman the man buys the apartment and the woman furnishes everything in it.
Oh
And-
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
heard something like that.
Something like
I
that.
think our-
And
Man,
there
I
is
don't know
something
about
with
that
farm
though,
animals.
because girls
I
get some
know-
weird stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I know that people were traded for animals sometimes. Like I guess it just depends. Like if you don't have the money, some of these third world countries.
Everybody's got to eat.
All right, so ladies,
Yes.
if your dad traded you for 2 goats, how would you feel?
I'll bid that. 2 goats. 2 goats on the women.
All right, guys,
My
you know what?
daddy
We're
would know I was worth-
bidding livestock now.
I'm gonna look
He
at the
would
price
know
on
I
a
was
goat
worth
right
a
about
lot
now.
more than 2 goats, for God's sakes. Like,
I
mean, he raised
2
me,
goats for
so-
both women.
I mean, I would
2 goats
be
for
at least
both women.
worth a cow or a horse, I would think.
Not if
I don't
nobody
know. What are you
outbids
gonna do
it.
with a
Are
goat?
you
I
worth
can-
like an Arabian though? Are you
don't
worth an
know.
Arabian?
I could probably go 2.5 goats.
2.5
You
goats?
can't have a half a goat, dummy.
Want to bet?
They die, dummy.
Okay.
One of them's a
It was
dead.
gonna be for dinner anyway.
And I got wait, are goats and sheep the same thing? No,
Are
they're
you
different.
retarded?
No, they're different, but they kind of
Did
look
you
alike,
not ever
maybe.
like?
Nope.
What? How did you miss animals when you were a little
I don't
kid?
know. I don't like them very
Okay,
much.
look, I argue that you can get used to anything, and even things that are very unpleasant, uncomfortable, bad, or in between.
What other animals don't you know?
All right, how
Do you know what the
about
difference between a ram
that
and a
was-
sheep is?
chickens? How about
I
10
get the
chickens,
ones I
1
get like
rooster?
chipmunks and
God.
chipmunks and those kind of things
Kill
mixed
me.
up a lot. Like chipmunks and
Lindsay, we're talking
Squirrels.
about animals. Where are you
and
at?
like I don't know, those like rodent things. I don't know. Voy had a picture of a puppy or whatever, and I thought it was a chipmunk. I don't know.
What about a miniature pony?
Can we take her to the zoo sometime?
Oh,
I can get a goat for $425.
How
Are
much
you
for a
on
miniature
Craigslist
pony,
right now
though?
looking at goats?
They don't have miniature ponies. I don't
No, I'm
think,
on livestockmarket.com.
because isn't a pony just a
Dude, I'll
little
steal you a
tiny
goat
horse?
for half that price.
True.
I'm just wondering, like, maybe a bride price would be better.
I don't know.
Oh.
Who knows? Who knows? However,
I
I
was
feel
gonna
like
say,
I get
feel
a
like
small goat
I'm
for
very
$225.
traditional with my. I feel like I'm very traditional with my gender roles, and I feel like
You don't peg.
No, I don't.
So I got a question then.
And Lindsay hasn't ever figured out how panels work yet.
I keep a clean house. I cook and stuff like that, but I also work too.
Crispy, I got one question for you. How many men's hoodies do you have in your closet?
Good question.
Not many,
Good
because
question.
I always was in
When
real long
When you
relationships.
say not many, how many?
I mean, I don't know. I've never counted them, but I would have to argue that I'm
She
always
pled the
full.
fifth.
That's a bad sign.
No,
Glenn heard what I heard.
No, I'm not sleeping with people that give me a hoodie, but people will give me hoodies because they see that I'm
What did you
shivering.
steal from George Clooney?
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not.
You
I
stole
don't
some
steal. I've never even been in my mom's purse and I never stole a candy bar.
You
I've got too much guilt for
know
that.
what porno everybody watches. I do not believe you've never been in a purse.
I've never been in her purse. Like I'm funny about like
Everything
yeah,
except for browser histories.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, if you leave your phone open and fall asleep, that's your own fault. I can't.
I actually agree.
I disagree with
I
that.
think too, if you go looking for something, you're gonna
find
it. So
something.
You're
Yeah.
like, don't go snooping through shit because you will find it, unless you just want to like.
Well, that's
fight
sort of a
Mario.
depressing, gaslighty claim you just made right there.
But I do look at their porn just to see if they if the person looks like me, because if their porn collection is complete opposite of me, then I'm like, okay.
Then you're offended, right?
A little bit, yeah.
You're like, wait a minute, why would you fuck that bitch?
Yeah. I feel like that's like not who he really is like seeking.
I don't
You
think
start doing
always
that
wanna
thing where it's
date
like,
what you look at for porn.
What is it?
I don't think you always want to date the same thing that you look at for porn.
No, I'm looking at his porn.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, as a guy, you're not always.
hey, I would like to point out this price here. I just saved $300 by switching to Craigslist.
Nice. That's a lot
Are you
cheaper.
trying to
I
sell
did
me
find one
for
for
a duck, or trying to
$225.
get a duck for me? Was that a duck?
I think that I just won the auction.
Oh,
She just asked if that was a duck.
it was.
What the
wasn't it?
fuck,
Or
Crispy?
was it a goose? I don't know. I don't know. My daughter.
If this were my
daughter
panel, I'd
said-
kick you off
Really
right now and tell you to
doesn't
go
know
learn about animals.
at
I
all.
didn't see it. I just glanced at it.
I would
My daughter,
offer.
though,
I would
asked me-
offer.
Is it because
three
your
goats
retina's
and a
slipping?
cow.
Yeah, it is. But my
I'll offer
daughter
3
said,
goats and a cow for Crispy. Because
She doesn't know her animals. She might be
Doesn't
too
matter,
fluoride
then.
damaged.
It
The
doesn't
fluoride,
matter.
like,
Yeah, that's
I
why
could
he's saying
take
2
three
goats and a
goats.
cow. He's just gonna give her 2 kittens.
I could give her 2
No.
squirrels.
oh yeah, you could give her anything.
Yeah.
no, you can't.
Here, hold out your hand. I got
The
some of these
reason
lemon
I'm
heads here. Do you like
asking-
lemon heads? I mean, do you like goats?
I remember like being a little kid and being on my aunt's farm, and like a sheep or a goat like jumped up on me and like
Here you
knocked the
go. I
wind
got
out of me.
payment. These are each goats.
I don't know what it was, but
You know,
I
people
don't
actually
remember it
do
being
goat
like
yoga.
I don't remember it
They
being
have
like
goats climb on them while they're doing yoga.
Shut the
Oh
fuck
yeah,
It's
up.
a
I've seen
real
that weird-
thing.
Yeah, I've seen that weird shit. That's just stupid.
What?
I don't
What's
know.
on
what
They'll
that
be
TV
doing
show?
they'll be doing
What?
yoga poses, and the goats come over and stand
goats.
on
It's
them.
goat yoga, and
Yes,
it's in,
There's a lot of
looking
like
that up
California.
right now.
influencers that
I
go
don't
do
even
that.
know if people do that anymore, but it was a fad for a little bit.
Oh my
That
gosh, this is
sounds
fantastic.
very,
It's still something people do as a
animalistic.
meme. Huh?
Do
That
they?
sounds very animalistic.
I don't
Yeah.
know what. No, it was just weird,
Getting in
and
touch with your inner animal.
I don't know what that was for.
I don't
think
want
it was
my
a
wife
gimmick.
to smell like
honestly.
goat though.
I would
I'd be
not
like, you
like
went
that
and
at
saw
all. I
that
would
damn
never
goat
do any
again,
such
didn't you?
thing.
And I don't want her to like chew on my shoelaces like a goat.
Right.
You went and saw that black goat again. What did I tell you about
Hey,
going to that goat?
while you're on there, how much is a donkey? Somebody in my chat wants to know.
I
He's
went to a
assuming low
donkey-
side of 800, upside of 5,000.
I did
That
go to a
sounds like a
donkey. I
crazy
went to a
range.
donkey show in Tijuana.
Whoa!
when I-
Pause.
Crispy.
Were
You have a
That
story.
just came out of nowhere. Let's talk about
I
this.
know.
Yeah, we gotta like let's dive this one in. So
Somebody defended me when I thought I said that already, but someone was
Nope.
like, "Yeah, that's a rite of passage."
You
And
did
yeah,
this,
it's
Sleepy.
just something that kids do, like when you.
No, it's not. Not me.
I've
I
never
never
met
seen
It's
anybody
when
that
you live
did
in
it, but-
California. That's like what kids do when you like turn 18 or whatever.
Is that why my dad wouldn't let me go on spring break in Mexico?
I live in California.
Probably. Well, no,
I've
I
never
wouldn't
been
let
to a
you go on.
donkey
He was
show.
because he
break
grew
in
up in
Mexico.
LA, and like when I was a senior high school, he's like, no matter what, you're not going to Mexico.
No,
I've
I
been to
wouldn't
Tijuana,
ever
but
let
I
you
would
go to
never
Mexico,
go to a
Flo.
donkey
Look,
show.
I'm like
You would be in a
3 hours
Mexican
from
prison
TJ,
the rest
and
of
I
your
have
life.
never seen a donkey
I
show.
probably would.
To be honest, the only reason I ever heard of a donkey show is because I watched I'm not
Shut up.
reading,
You don't need to over defend yourself.
Clerks 2.
It's getting sus at this point.
Okay,
What?
so
I didn't realize that people
Crispy?
didn't know what they were, though. But like, I'm gonna not tell that story anymore.
No,
Crispy, I got a
think you
follow-up
are.
question now. I got a follow-up question.
Mhm.
How many times have you seen this donkey show?
Oh, I just
That's a good-
only went once. It was so gross, and like it was nothing
That
that, I
sounds
would
super
ever do
depressing.
again.
Yeah,
It was.
And how
It
far
freaked
from
me out.
now? You said you grew up in California.
No, but I grew up in. Well, I grew up in a lot of different places. I moved a lot, but where I'm from Nashville area, And then I
Nashville,
lived in
Tennessee.
California for a little while. I lived in Florida for a while. I lived in Indianapolis, Cincinnati. Where else did I live? I mean, I've lived a lot of
In
places.
Tijuana?
No, but I did go. I lived in California, and then that's not very far to go. When you
Trust me, I know. I've been to TJ, and I have never been, and I live in LA, and I
don't do it. It's
I have
so
never been
disturbing.
to, never have I been there. Never would I want to.
Mhm.
I just go down there to get my steroids. Yeah.
Okay. Yikes! I
No,
wouldn't.
but I love
get-
Nashville. Not that you mentioned Nashville. I went to Nashville this year with
Uh-huh.
Pearl.
You had the best time, right?
Oh, it was amazing. Like we were walking by the Kid Rock's bar,
Yeah,
and he was there performing.
yeah. He's in
And
there. He's
was
in
that
there. a
Broadway? Is
lot,
that
yeah.
Broadway?
Yeah, Broadway. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were staying off like I think 3rd Street at like some place called like Bode Hotel.
Yeah. Did you go to like 1230 Club?
We just were walking down the like that whole strip doing
Yeah.
interviews and stuff.
It's
street
really
interviews.
it's a cool downtown area that they've
I would live out there. That's how cool
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
It's-
I love it.
Nashville creeps me out. The
It
people were
creeps
too
Flo
nice.
out. I creep Flo out because I'm.
But here's the
too
weird
nice.
thing. I found out Nashville is the bachelorette capital.
There's a lot of fats in Nashville, though. There's a lot of fats.
I saw that too.
Mhm. Yeah.
There was a lot of people looking like busted, bakery rolls.
Yeah.
But it creeps me out when I'm like on a road trip and I'm pulling through and I'm going through the drive-thru at McDonald's at 3 a.m. and everybody is so fucking friendly. Why are 3 a.m. McDonald's workers so happy to see me?
We just have good manners. That's all.
Like that's some suspicious shit.
You know what? We didn't get answered, ladies.
How many hoodies she has?
No, livestock.
Yeah.
For a bride
about
price.
Oh yeah, donkey.
What about it? Like,
What do you think is your value in livestock? Like if you were going to,
like what? Like an
like if your
Arabian,
dad was going to,
an
if your dad was going
Arabian
to,
race horse.
yeah, if your dad had some suitor comes to your dad. He's like I like to have your daughter's hand in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
How many goats, cows, chickens, whatever do you think is acceptable bride price?
First of all, I already know that my father then asked him like a bunch of questions, like how is he going to support me? And
That's a relevant part. We're just
all that
asking for the
stuff.
bride price. We're asking for the bride price.
I think that I would go. I think I'd be worth like a good, decent, like at least a Kentucky Derby racehorse, like a winner.
Let's just go by cows. Let's
Yeah, we're
number
like
of cows, just to
I
make it
don't
as
know.
simple.
So how
Right.
many cows?
like,
Yeah.
maybe we can throw in a chicken, but if you think you're going Kentucky
No.
'Cause
Derby horse,
I've been researching a little bit, so I know about
you
what
already know the
bride
prices.
prices are. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think
For-
a cow is better than a horse? I feel like a racehorse would be great.
Well, you're not asking for just one cow.
And then I could spend all my time on at
You know
the
what?
You
This
don't
one-
actually get it.
racetrack.
Your parents get it. So
Oh,
you're
we're
missing
gonna
it.
we're gonna keep shopping. I think we're gonna keep
Yeah.
looking
yeah,
around.
I might not.
So
be worth
you're
it.
saying that you are worth $446,000.
Yeah, probably, maybe. No, I'm
You-
not worth that much.
Do you want to know what a typical bride price is?
How much?
According to Google, typical bride price is 20 to 40 cows, each worth up
Oh.
to $500.
That's a lot. I watched 90 Day Fiance, and some of them were just going for like one animal, and
Jeez, they
that's
must
how I
be,
knew that they
really
still
trying
did
to get
that.
rid of them.
So that Femme Fading goes for 175.
Nice.
The only
That's a go.
donkey listing that was there was a contact number. There was no price listed for the
Yeah.
donkey. So
That's a good
donkey
deal.
salesmen are pretty notoriously sketchy though.
Now
Donkey
also-
salesman?
All right,
girl-
so I want to go around the table,
Go for
around
it.
the panel, and you're fixed for marriage.
Mhm.
Fix?
If marriage rates are bad, divorce is at a high, thing. What is your fix? How would you fix marriage? If you can fix marriage,
You
I
have
think
to stick it
removing
out.
ladies
Oh,
first.
sorry.
Ladies first.
Yep, sorry, my bad. Go.
I think you have to stick it
I'm
out.
not a gentleman.
And I also think like I don't like to be smothered, and and you have to have your own hobbies, your own friends, and your own, I need some time by myself. I also, like, if I'm mad, I get over it really fast, but I might say something, like I might yell at you, not yell even, just tell you what I don't like or whatever, but then leave me alone for a good 20 minutes, and then and I'm fine. But don't prevent me from, like, getting away. Don't try and keep me in the space that you're in. I need to go away, and you need to go away. And then in 20 minutes, I'm over it. I think there's a lot of people that get in a thing where they, like, sort of get off on fighting with each other. I'm not.
I agree.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree. That sounds.
I agree with that.
good to
I
me.
agree with that. So, but
what's your fix for marriage?
yeah, you just
Well,
said how
I
you
think
fix
just
your
sticking
marriage.
it out, and, like, work, like, it's not it's not always going to be amazing, and you have to just roll with the punches, and, like, nothing, no, you never, there's ebbs and flows in a relationship, and what is down will eventually come back up, so, like, you're not always going to be stuck in, like, a bad situation. Sometimes things get better. It always gets better. Things change.
It
And
gets
I
better
also
once you
don't
file
think,
for
and I
divorce.
also think that's terrible advice when people say never go to sleep angry. Go to sleep angry. I promise you feel better the next morning. Like, go to sleep, and then tomorrow you won't even care. Just go to bed. You won't even be all mad the next morning. Don't sit and try and argue everything out before you go to bed when you're tired. No, I don't
No,
want
just go to
that.
a donkey show.
So you're
If you
going
guys
the
get married to each other,
Stop trying to
go to
control
a
us.
donkey show.
You're going the MLD method with
What's that?
endure. You've got to endure.
You've got to endure. Yeah, probably.
MLD, Modern Life Dating.
Yeah,
He
I'm gonna actually
was
be on
on
a panel
the
with
whatever
them.
podcast.
I'm gonna be on a panel with them on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I know.
You're
MLD.
not. You're not on. Are you on Fresh and Fit? You're not that guy that was on Fresh and Fit in the white outfit, are you?
That was DL.
Oh,
I guess I don't know who she's thinking of, but
No, I know Fresh and Fit. I know Myron and Walter. I've talked to them in Vegas.
Glenn
when I
knows
was
pretty
out
much
there.
everybody in the manosphere.
Yeah,
and I happen to love
pretty much.
Andrew Wilson. I think he's, like, damn near perfect. I think
because you like psychopaths.
I wouldn't
he's
go
not
that far,
psycho.
but
I think he's very reasonable.
I'm just talking shit. I like him too.
I know.
but no, legit though, that is MLD's idea for fixing
But
marriage.
I'm
is
like
just
I'm like
endure.
a normal. But did Lindsay just
stick it out.
Lindsay does this shit to me. She just, like, literally convinced me to come up and dropped off.
Oh yeah, she's always just dropping out of nowhere.
Yeah, she
Yep.
does. I feel like I get, like,
Sometimes she pops back in out of nowhere too, though.
Yeah,
get
she does. She
bamboozled.
comes and goes. You can't do nothing about it.
She's like the wind.
So
I think
okay,
she just wants me to take her
so,
place, and then she's out.
Crispy's choice is to go get mad at each other. If you guys are mad at each other, go to sleep mad at each other. But before you go to sleep, go to a donkey show.
No, I would never
Absolutely.
suggest that. I didn't really know what it
Get
was.
a good laugh.
And what it was not.
I don't
what
believe
thought
that.
It was. I mean, I was thinking. You know what I was thinking? It was. I thought it was, like, going to be like a bull rider show, like one of those, like, I thought it was going to be a rodeo or something. I think.
Oh, I bet it was a rodeo.
Web of lies, Crispy.
I think that was it. Like, I was young. I didn't know.
Oh my!
She thought it was going to be a girl riding a donkey, not a donkey riding a girl.
Oh God, not good.
All right, Dave. What is your fix for marriage?
My fix for marriage is take the government out of it. Remove any kind of marriage incentives. Stop trying to get people to get married. Let marriage be more of a commitment thing. Like, when you're ready. It's not something that should be rushed. It's something that people rush into before they're actually ready. Sometimes they don't even vet the partner. Get rid of green card marriages, things like that. Fix the immigration problem. Make a better system for getting into the U.S. That kind of thing. So that people aren't trying to skirt around.
Why are you talking about, like, and you're like,
Why do you hate
once you're
Mexicans?
gonna marry
What I'm
somebody,
saying is these are all things that contribute to the high divorce rate. A lot of
Yeah.
green card marriages don't last long. They end in divorce, so that
5 years.
raises the divorce
you
rate.
only
Yeah.
have 90 days.
See,
But
Glenn's
listen,
got it.
you also when you get married for a green card or whatever, even though you might get a divorce after you've been married, you're responsible for that person for the next 10 years. You have to sponsor that person. So even
Yeah.
if you divorce them, you have to take care of them for another
But that's
10
what I'm
years.
saying. And a lot of
Yeah.
people are suckers and they're like, oh, a hot chick that wants to come to America. Well, I'm not doing very good in the dating market, so I'm just going to take this.
When I was a
I think
banker,
a
I had
lot of
this
women
dude come in and
decision.
try to.
I think a lot of women are obsessed with the wedding part of it, not the
Oh,
marriage.
that's true. Women
too.
want the wedding.
Mhm.
They don't want the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And men don't want the wedding because that's the expensive,
want the
annoying
marriage.
part. They just want a woman that they know is loyal.
So
yeah.
I agree with get the state out of it.
Mhm.
All right. And I also think that, you know, I'm pro for like a dowry system.
I think that'd be cool. It's something to
But
try.
I think the dowry system should be contingent upon certain things, though. Like, okay, if you cheated on him, no dowry. You know, he cheated on her, maybe double the dowry. Who knows? You know, like whatever the case is. Like, I think you can't. I think both parties should go into it with the same amount of risk. So they both risk losing everything.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's like a bad behavior, so like if there's cheating or abuse or whatever the case is, that can be proven. It has to be proven. You can't just say, I saw these texts in his phone and I think he's banging this chick in Japan. No.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think that there has to be proven. It almost
Well,
like
you have to like hide in the chick's vagina and grab his penis, right?
exactly. Yeah, you got to see. You have to have evidence of dick going inside.
And if he
don't
paid
even
for it,
know.
if he pays for it, it's not cheating.
And I always say too, like if you've cheated, don't tell the other person if you've gotten away with it. That only relieves your guilt, and it just makes the other person nuts.
No,
So
I
don't-
disagree.
Really?
I very vehemently
No.
disagree with this.
I
If
don't
you
wanna know.
cheat, you need to come clean.
Ugh.
Dishonesty will destroy a relationship.
Well, I mean, it would destroy it anyways, right? Whether
Yeah, but
whether they come clean or did.
I think it's funny that you
at least
both
if you
use,
come
you
clean,
keep
you
using
can
come
work
clean.
through it. If you
Because
come
if you're
clean,
cheating,
you
you're
can work
coming
through it.
dirty.
You're coming
True.
dirty.
Yeah. Real
Depends
dirty.
on what hole you went in, though.
I mean, it's moral dirtiness. That's dirty coming.
It's
Whether
so much worse if they find out some other way than if you tell them. Because if you tell them, you might be able to work
All
it
right,
out
let
and
me-
figure
let-
out something.
Let me ask you this.
There's no chance if you tell me.
Let me ask.
Well,
you
maybe
this.
with you, but for me, I might give you a
Noted.
little bit benefit of the doubt.
All right, here's the scenario now. Your significant other cheats on you
Mm-hmm.
with a porn star, and they end up winning the award, and they end up getting all this money from this porn. Are you staying with them?
Fuck no. I'm taking. Sorry, Miss Flo. I'm taking half that shit in the divorce.
Yeah.
I would
Well,
never be
absolutely,
dating. I
that-
wouldn't date
same thing.
anybody like that. No.
Because
But you already married to them.
Oh.
not
yeah.
only did you break our vows, but you did so on a recording that then was seen by obviously millions of people if it made a lot of
By
money.
this dude right here.
So
He's
now
talking about it on his
everybody would-
podcast.
Everybody would look at me as a cuck from this.
Yeah.
That would be an accurate assessment as
But
well.
Yeah.
this
That's
point,
true.
At this point, you have ruined my reputation by cheating on me in this
I agree.
way.
That's probably why we just kill you.
I find that very
So the
disrespectful.
question is then for Crispy, if you found out your man cheated on you with a porn star,
Mm-hmm.
would you leave him?
Yeah. Yeah, like I wouldn't want
What
that
if he
either.
invited you? Would you join him?
No. I mean, maybe once.
Good
No.
answer.
So he only gets one pass. Like, hey,
No.
There's porn stars here
Like, I don't think I'd be interested in anybody that was going to be like
that degenerate.
Unless it was a
mean,
lesbian porn, then I'd be okay with it. By the way,
Yeah, I'm sure.
that's different.
Um,
There's no other
I
dicks.
don't know. No, I've certainly no. I mean, I no. I mean, I like a little bit of a bad boy, but I tried to.
When you say
stay
bad
away
boy,
from-
how
but
much
not
of a
that
bad
bad,
boy?
not like horrible.
On a scale, wait, how would we rank out from most to least bad boy? Dave's
On
least.
the scale of Dave,
Probably he's like most, middle, least.
Dave,
Is that
Dave the
Who's
Glenn?
most? Who's
the guy
most?
with no
Probably
sleeves and big
Glenn,
tattoos?
yeah. The guy
I
who looks like a
mean,
biker.
I am
Yeah,
a biker. I ride a Harley.
Exactly. That's my point.
he's more.
That is like the
out,
epitome
he's
of
more,
bad boy.
He's more outwardly
Although I think
bad
Flo
boy,
rides a
but
bike too,
you're
don't you?
more dangerous, Flo. And
See, I just present bad. I'm really good at
yeah.
heart.
Well, that's what I said earlier is I wasn't gonna, you were getting killed in the chat for like just even having this topic about a host school and stuff. But I don't want to judge you on just a topic because, you know,
Well, the whole
maybe
point of,
you're
like,
It's
maybe you're
mostly a
just
joke.
yeah,
the whole point
right.
of the outrageous topic.
Because I don't think you're probably really like those.
No, the whole point of an outrageous topic like that. I forgot what this process is. I learned it in college. But you present the most ridiculous solution to a problem. But then you're trying to bring the people to a more middle ground conversation on how to fix the solution.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying host school because obviously there's a bunch of promiscuity going around, right? And everybody's complaining about it. And you know what? I see these numbers from what like the OnlyFans like reviews or like the financial reviews say, and it's like, oh my gosh, these women must suck at their job because they don't know what they're doing. But then all these guys are saying women don't know how to be wives either. So should we have a host school? And if we have a host school, shouldn't we have a wife school? And if we have a wife school, shouldn't we have a husband school? And then it goes back to maybe if we have a husband school and a wife school before people are allowed to get married.
Yeah, it's called premarital counseling, and nobody needs host school. That's like, I mean, we can figure out how to be a host.
There are some chicks who cannot give good head.
Yeah, I
Some use their
probably.
teeth, and that's
But
a no
you have
go.
to. That's when you have to. I mean, you have to. You have to help her. Like that's all. She just needs a little coaching.
How much patience do you think I got?
None.
How many dicks do you think I've sucked?
None.
I am not qualified to.
But you also know what you like.
You have been to prison, so
Oh.
Jail.
Shots
Jail.
fired.
sorry, jail.
All right,
Jail
Dave.
is only
I ain't gay, but I'll fuck you to prove a point. You know that?
Exactly. See,
It's
But
not
so,
gay
like,
if you say no
the
homo
real,
first.
The real question is though, like, okay, premarital counseling. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Should it be mandatory?
Yeah. Yeah, because
agree.
you go over topics that you might not have thought about, like, you know,
But if we're
division
at
of
this
labor,
point,
who's going to do the bills, who's going to do the housework, how are you going to discipline your children, what religion are you going to raise your children in? It just would save a lot of headaches.
but here's the other thing though. At this point, that we have a lot of women that say that men are not men anymore, that there's a lot of soft men, there's a lot of soy, right?
True.
And if that's the case, then maybe men would benefit from husband school, and maybe women would benefit from wife school.
It's called premarital counseling, and I don't know what we would teach in husband school.
I'm gonna
But I would
agree.
probably not try and find a wife in a strip club, maybe, and then like problem solved all the way.
I'm gonna go with Glenn on this real quick, though. I want to back him up a little bit. Women and men kind of learn differently, or traditional counseling doesn't work that well for men.
Exactly.
If we could do a husband school where men can teach men how to be better husbands who have been through the process and like done it, like had a good marriage, are we off or
Traditional
okay,
counseling doesn't work for men because
I had counseling, guys. I had to leave real quick.
Because women gang up with the counselor. Women get that little empathetic bond with the counselor, and they gang up on the man. And the man doesn't talk about his problems, but the woman does.
That's why they say marriage counseling doesn't work.
I would never want to do that.
I feel like counseling works really well for women because.
Because
okay,
it's
now this
all
is
of
going to
our
sound
fault. It's
sexist.
our fault.
It's going to sound a little bit
because
sexist
you complain
because
more.
women tend to, when they have a problem with something, just want to talk about it, not necessarily solve it. Men,
yeah, that's true.
Look at Glenn's face. I know. I was confused too when I learned that women talk about problems, not to solve them.
Yes,
Yeah,
they don't want to solve
we
it.
We really don't want your opinion.
And
on
they're
how
going to be
solve
mad
it.
at you
So
when
no,
you tell them how to solve
I've
it.
learned this. I learned this.
Yes.
You know what I say?
Don't try and solve our problems.
I'll give you a perfect
we know
example.
how to solve them.
Crispy, let's say you're my significant other. Come to me with the problem. Go ahead. I'll show you guys how to do this.
I mean, let's see. I don't know. I really don't. Let me
just
think.
pretend. Play make believe.
Glenn, would you still love me if I was a puddle of water?
I'm thinking like, do you think, Dave, that was really nice.
That's
That
fucking
was
hilarious.
really nice.
Nicely done, Dave.
Okay,
Fist
like,
bump.
I'm thinking like, okay, that
Your friend Stacy
my
at
boss
work.
at
There you
work,
go.
my boss at work is constantly hitting on me, and I hate it.
Hey, babe.
It's me. I'm your boss.
Quick question, babe.
Hey, what's up?
Quick question. Do you want me to fix this or feel this?
No, I just wanted to. I just wanted
You
to
want me to
bitch
feel
about
this
it
with
for a
you, or do you
minute.
want me to
Yeah.
fix this?
Film? Did you say film it?
Feel. He wants to
No, I
feel it
don't
with
want you
you.
to feel it. I mean, just
Okay, cool.
just
You know what? I
listen.
don't got
That's
time
all.
for that right now. I
Just
got work.
listen. Just
No. Look, if you overdo it, if you lean into it and really feel it with her, maybe you'll.
No, the question is like it's because.
Uh-oh. He unplugged his mic.
Oh no.
That's what guys tend to do when our woman comes to us and there's a problem. We automatically want to fix their problem. You know why? We just want them to shut up, and we want sex to be open for us later. So we figured they have this problem. We want to fix it so we can have sex later. And if what we need to do and ask them is like, hey, do you want us to feel this with you or fix it with you? And it sounds stupid, but I'm telling you it works. Like if you go, okay, you want me
What sort of a narcissist wants to just have the problem and not fix it?
That's women.
Women. I don't get it. I don't I can't
we know how
understand
to
it,
fix
but
it.
I
We
know
just
it
want to.
happens.
We just want you. I've told you.
They
this
want to be
before.
heard.
We want. I think that is how you should. When you argue with somebody, I am a firm believer in everybody that argues just wants to be heard and understood. That's
I know
all.
you think that, but I don't think I think that.
Well, you don't, but like I would
No,
think that like most people would.
If I'm bringing a problem to someone, it's because I want their opinion on how to fix it. It's not because I just want to vent.
I get no joy out of expressing my misery.
In fact, I don't want you to know what's wrong with me unless I'm planning on fixing it and I need
I
help.
don't want to know what's wrong with you either.
Like
oh man, he likes that shit. He likes chicks that are mean.
Yeah.
I think that she's right though. I don't think guys should tell women their problems either.
No.
Unless the problem has to do with the woman. They're
Like if
look,
she's on her period, every time she gets mad at you, just ask, "Are you on your period?" And that'll calm her right down.
I think.
Oh my God.
you don't even ask. You know what you do?
Right off.
You just turn on a sappy movie and you throw chocolate at her and walk away.
Yeah. But I also think that's why you should have it's important to have female friends. And I tell my guy friends too that it's a red flag when a female doesn't have female friends.
Oh, I think that's true 100%.
Yeah. So but that's why you talk to your I would never go and talk to I wouldn't tell my guy a bunch of shit that I would just talk to one of my friends about. I wouldn't go
because that makes him your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Again,
that does.
And
it's
I
a
know
red
it
flag for
aggravates
normal guys, not
Yeah,
for
I know it
that's how
aggravates you.
dudes
We have
turn
a low
gay.
tolerance for it. Yeah.
I like crazy girls.
I think look, the only time you should talk to your woman about a problem is when you have a problem with your woman. Like, look, okay, you know what?
Mhm.
I hate the way you smell.
Like
those fucking goats.
Those damn goats. You're going to goat yoga way too fucking much.
Here, have some Lumi. It'll fix you.
But but for the most part, I think most people just want to be heard and understood, and it not you're not trying to change the person's opinion and make them somehow like change their entire point of view to side with you. You should just be heard and understood, and
Why does being heard so important?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, it feels like kind of a stupid question, but like, do you really believe that's what most people? Is that really what most people want?
I don't know. It's just like what I like. I mean, it's what I want. I don't think like when I see couples or whatever, I can tell how long if they're gonna work out or if they're not gonna work out.
You're the
You
couple
probably can because you're witchy.
It's based on how they fight with one another. It's not how well they get along. It's
With
how
knives?
it's what they fight. No, it's
I
like
always
when
say,
you,
you know
when
what,
you
the
hit
day
below
you
the belt, when you hit below the belt and you say some real cruel shit, you can't take that back. You can't like say you're sorry. It's already
Yep.
out there.
Yeah, I
So-
agree with you. I say as soon as you call them out of their name,
I don't care about that.
well,
But-
if you're cussing them out and you're calling them, you're showing them disrespect. So when you're
Yeah.
showing them disrespect, when you get to the level where you're disrespecting this person that you say you love, you already know it's already on the downward slope of where it's going to go bad.
That's when he just wants you to feel it with him.
That might be.
Like, listen to you.
Feel it with me.
But regardless, that's why I don't think that the pre or whatever pre-marriage counseling would help the man as much.
What
because
if
they're
the
not going to tell you the
pre-marriage
problems as much?
counseling was about like in putting them in the most fucked up situations?
It is that way. You take like a little test or whatever, and then I mean, and then afterwards you talk to the priest, and the priest tells you, and listen, I'm telling you,
Don't trust priests.
No, the priest told me the best advice ever. He said, if you get up every day and if your goal is to make that other person's life easier and better, then if that's your goal every day, then you'll be fine. I think that's good advice.
That sounds
So,
like Disney
here's-
bullshit.
And file first. I think that's better advice.
I think
Yeah.
this is where people get fucked up in relationships. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is not really red pill for me to say. I think it's the man's job to think about her needs, and I think it's the woman's job to think about his needs. And where people get fucked up is when they start thinking about their own needs. When she starts thinking about her needs and she's not thinking about his needs or his desires.
You
versa.
basically just repeated what the priest said. He said, like,
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
You get up
Praise
every
God.
day and try and make that person's life easier. That's all, and that's like a good formula. I don't prescribe to all that red pill shit. I don't even like all of that stuff. That drives me bananas. But
did you ask me if I know Fresh and Fit?
I mean, a little. That drives me nuts too, a little bit. Yeah.
It
I
drives
think
you
that
nuts
there's
that
a
I know
lot
them?
of I think there's a lot of posing on that on that.
Well, it probably helped to let you know that I don't really agree with them at all.
Yeah.
I bet they would like host school.
I'm sure they would. They'll probably want to be professors at host school.
I don't think they'd admit it though, because aren't
No,
they
yeah.
against women hoeing themselves?
They'll
'Cause
just
aren't
they'll
they
just raw dog the
usually,
chick
like,
and then tell her to get an abortion.
I mean,
Yeah,
this is what I think is just so. I mean, I can't help but just die laughing when they talk about like their workout schedule and stuff, and like this is what I do, and then I get a good workout and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, like I don't know, I just can't with that. I don't know, it just kind of
I must have watched a different Fresh and Fit.
no.
I've only
They
watched like
always are
half
talking
an
about
episode.
how they work out and stuff, and like
I
I work
really
out.
I think
work
that's
out,
a
but you
thing.
know what? I don't film my workouts no more. I used to.
Do you work out or you just take those Mexican steroids?
The Mexican steroids help, but I used to compete nationally.
You know what? You need to be really careful with that too, because I'm telling you, did you ever see like Priscilla Presley went over there and got like Fix-a-Flat in her face or whatever? They they put yeah.
My
I'm not
contact
kidding.
is actually from Russia, and I just have to pick them up in Mexico.
Fix a flat.
Yeah, they
It's a whole
did. They
ordeal.
put that's the kind of that's what was found in her thing. Yeah, there
That's
was a whole thing
fantastic.
about it.
That's amazing.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
like what. That's like
So
what.
did it lift her cheek up?
I mean, listen, if
You
you
think
it
that
for lip
expanding
filler? What
chrome
was it for?
would be less
you go to
hard? or something?
Mexico and somebody wants to do plastic surgery in
Here,
their kitchen, like say no. Like that's
hold on.
crazy.
Pause. I got some administrative stuff to do. I am about to start a live stream. I'm actually late for it.
All
But
right.
I'm gonna drop the link to your stream because I'm gonna end mine in a second and shuttle my audience over. But anybody who wants to stay watching this, I just dropped the link here, and also I'll wait a minute.
I don't really have anybody watching me, but I'm gonna step out too, just because it's pretty late and I need to go
Well,
to bed.
you know,
and I
it's
got a
like-
plumber coming tomorrow.
It is midnight over here,
Mm-hmm.
and I think this is a good time to wrap it up.
Oh, okay.
Not like Fresh did, but really wrap it up.
I was gonna say, I think he forgot.
Hey,
didn't wrap
listen,
it
your that
He might have
trailer
missed
that
that
trailer that you showed before that looks
Hey, thanks for
really
having
good.
me up.
No problem, Flo.
Later, Flo.
That trailer that you showed looks really good.
Thank you. It's actually
Yeah.